free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. I-70 has been reopened after law enforcement shut down a portion of eastbound Interstate 70 this afternoon due to what's being called a police emergency. Emergency vehicles were blocking off all of the eastbound lanes of I-70 at Lake St. Louis Boulevard as of 12:55 p.m. The lanes were reopened at 1:30, and officials have not released the exact reason for the highway shutdown. A man is facing charges after being accused of shooting blow darts at people in South St. Louis. Police are aware of two incidents. The first occurred in the 5200 block of Hampton Avenue Wednesday evening, where a woman was leaving a restaurant and had a blow dart stick into a box of leftovers she was carrying. The second happened just after 7 last night when a man in the 6600 block of Chippewa was hit in the leg with a blow dart. After the Chippewa incident, detectives obtained surveillance video and identified a suspect vehicle. The driver was wearing a fast food delivery shirt and had made a food delivery nearby just before the incident. Officers then arrested 22-year-old Dylan Lambert. He is charged with 2 counts of assault and 2 counts of armed criminal action. 30 darts and a blowgun were seized from Lambert's car. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is calling on Meta to address the spread of violent terror content online. Hanaway says this comes after disturbing allegations in a lawsuit filed by victims of the October 7, 2023 terrorist attack in Israel, which left more than 1,200 innocent civilians dead, thousands injured, and hundreds kidnapped. According to the complaint, Meta allegedly enabled the distribution of live and recorded footage of murders, abductions, and other atrocities. In one case, terrorists reportedly posted footage of a victim's murder directly to her own Facebook profile. The Hazelwood School District is considering breaking off from the special school district. The Hazelwood District is looking into creating its own in-house services for special needs students. 2 St. Louisides have been nominated by the Missouri Advisory Council on Historic Preservation to become listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The council is meeting today in Jefferson City. The St. Louis sites under consideration are the Northampton Commercial Historic District on South Kings Highway and the edge of the Ville Integration Historic District in North St. Louis. If accepted tomorrow by the council, those nominations will be forwarded to the National Register in Washington, D.C. for approval. The shortage of skilled professionals trained to fight the current escalating number of cybersecurity threats affecting businesses and other organizations is being addressed this weekend in St. Louis. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
The World Economic Forum estimates there's a global shortage of more than 4 million cyber professionals, and a recent survey shows that women account for less than 20% of cybersecurity teams in the United States. This weekend, students from St. Louis University and Maryville University are teaming up with the group Women in Cybersecurity to take part in workshops. The event is open to both men and women, and participants will work in small teams to tackle real-life cybersecurity scenarios developed by government experts. The World Economic Forum estimates that currently there's a global shortage of more than 4 million cyber professionals. October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. There's a spike in Missouri unemployment claims. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
The number of initial unemployment claims is up sharply in Missouri. The Missouri Department of Labor reports there were over 6,200 claims filed during the week ending on October 4th. That marks an increase of nearly 4,000 claims from the previous week. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
And this look at the markets is brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement at a special time tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., as we take you into Mizzou football pregame coverage. So down day on Wall Street today at the close, Dow Jones is down 878 points to finish at 45,479. S&P 500 fell 182 points to 6,552. And the NASDAQ down 820 points to 22,204. Now let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
So be number 14 Mizzou takes on number 8 Alabama tomorrow in Columbia in one of the biggest games of the weekend. Catch a full in-depth preview beginning tonight at 6 p.m. on KTRS with the James Carlton State Farm Mizzou Game Plan Show. Game day coverage begins tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on the Big 550. And the Blues were blanked by the Minnesota Wild on opening night, 5-0. It's the first time the Note is shut out in the opener in franchise history. The Blues play at Calgary tomorrow afternoon. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. Westbound 64 is running slow from 364 to the 6470 interchange. It's the final day of road work on 5570 in Collinsville, with lane closures in both directions between Illinois 111 and Fairmount, and the ramp from eastbound 270 to southbound 170 is closed until 5 p.m. this afternoon for road work. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather today, sunny, high of 73. Tonight, clear with an overnight low of 50. Warmer this weekend, tomorrow, sunny, high of 74. And Sunday, sunny, high of 77. Right now, under beautiful sunny skies, we have 73 degrees. The time is 3:09. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Oh, we did it. We made it through another work week. Happy Friday, everybody. Heidi Glaus here with Bob Ramsey, Josh Gilbert, and we've got a jam-packed show, one that I hope you're going to enjoy. First up, we're going to talk to the best-selling author of Dope Sick. She has a new memoir out, Paper Girl. She's going to be at the Clark Family Branch of the St. Louis County Library tonight at 7, but before that, we get to chat with her, and I've got so many questions for her. We'll talk about Dope Sick and her new memoir. Coming up a little later, we'll talk sports with Brendan Weesey because there's a lot to talk about. We'll break down what happened last night when the Blues broke down. We've got to look ahead to Mizzou, Alabama. So that's all coming up when we talk a little sports. In the 4 o'clock, we'll talk with Mike Ward, as we do on Fridays, and he's got a fun new product to share with us, which I love when he keeps us kind of in the loop, which he always does. So that's coming up. We'll also talk about the government shutdown and now possible layoffs with ABC News reporter Ben Siegel. And there is a fun concert next weekend that we'll tell you all about. It's a Chuck Berry birthday bash, and it's with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. And you can't believe how many other artists they're bringing in to either perform with or sing with. So we'll find out what's going on next weekend with that. And then in the 5 o'clock, we'll check in with Alex Stone on this devastating story coming out of a Tennessee plant. Multiple people have died. So what went wrong here? We'll talk about that, and then we'll lighten things up and talk a little entertainment and wrap this show up with some randoms. I saw this, and have you guys lost a package that has been delivered and it was supposed to be there and never showed up?
I think that has happened. It's probably one of the kids.
Yeah.
Because I don't do much of that. I think it's probably happened.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I have lost things, not a lot, but I don't attribute it to theft.
You don't?
No.
What do you attribute it to?
Maybe I just, think the best of my neighbors.
What do you mean you think the best of your neighbors?
I wouldn't think that somebody would come to, our house and just take things off our porch.
Well, it's not typically neighbors doing the stealing.
Well,
it's porch pirates.
Here's a warning to all porch pirates. Newtown, every single person besides me has a Ring camera.
Mm-hmm.
And they post video all the time about it.
Well, so do we in Lafayette Square, but that doesn't stop them. That just kind of then hits all of the, what is the neighborhood, like a Facebook, but it's
the
Nextdoor app and all of those other things. But according to a new research, Americans lost an estimated $15 billion to porch pirates in just 2024 alone. That's 241 million stolen packages. And I have to say, my neighborhood association has done a great job with the Ring cameras and chasing down. There was one day I had stepped outside to go for my walk and almost got hit by my neighbor, who I love, Meg, because somebody had just grabbed something off her porch and she went chasing after him. And I'm like, I don't know that this is the best idea, but he did eventually drop her package. We have been able to even prosecute one guy that because neighbors had gone to court to make sure that they got him. So now things are looking a little better in our hood.
Have you guys ever gotten, they'll drop the package off and then they'll take a picture of it on your front porch.
Yep.
Have you ever gotten, here's picture proof that we dropped it off, and you're like, this isn't my house. Whose house is this?
Yeah.
One of the packages, I searched the house numbers, and I figured out it was in like North Carolina. I don't know how it got so far.
Did you ever get it back?
No, I told my wife to press it, and they just sent her a new one.
That's what they did. Yeah.
Whoever in North Carolina, because like that story you said, $15 billion that we've lost. I think for the most part, the companies will send you out a new one.
Most of the time, I think they will.
Most of the time.
Yeah. So I think that $15 billion is what the companies collectively are losing.
Well, I think it's a mix. I don't think everyone replaces the packages, and I think it probably depends on a price point as far as
good call
that goes. But
and like if Josh is gone for a week, well, sitting there a week, what?
Yeah.
No, we're
go
not
ahead
doing
and
that.
bring it in the house.
We had my wife wanted to redo one of the bathrooms, and the whole vanity, the heavy sink top, the cabinet, the whole thing. I call Home Depot and I was like, hey, man, this says it was delivered last week. I've been patient. Where is this? That one was on the East Coast as well. It was in South Carolina.
I wonder if there's a new town on the East Coast.
That has a similar address.
I'm like, how in the world? And this isn't a package or an envelope. It's
a box of tennis shoes. It's a vanity.
You have to like lift it out with a forklift. So,
well, there's something about your address.
I think so too.
Yeah, maybe I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Oh, you're always in the Twilight Zone.
There is a closet that when you open it up, it is just a swirling mass.
You haven't gone into
at your
it
house.
Yet.
Yeah, like,
he just stares into it.
Don't go in there.
Can I tell you what I did today? And I'm going to need your opinions on the KTRS text line 84126. So I got my oil changed and denied all the extras that they said the car needed, which I hope that's the right decision.
I love when they pull out the air filter and they're like, oh,
gosh, look at this.
They're like, look at, and I'm like, is that dirty? I don't know. Is that dirty for an air filter? Is it clean? If you took that leaf out of there, are we good? How do I know what a clean air filter looks like?
Yeah, it was nuts. But on my way then, I passed Walmart, and that's now my favorite chicken salad. So I decided to run in and just grab it.
Oh. What's their brand? The Walmart.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had sworn I had just put my credit card in my pocket. So I run in to grab that one thing. The lines were so backed up, and I stand in this line for at least 10 minutes and get up to the cash register, and she's starting to boop it, as Josh would say.
Boop.
And I don't feel my credit card in my pocket.
Oh, no.
And so I'm like, you know what? Will you just hold that right there? And I'm going to run out and I'll be back. So I run out to my car. Thankfully, I'd put it back in my purse. And I go back in. And now the line is twice as long.
Someone's eating her chicken
as it
salad.
was. And
was this yours?
Yeah.
the woman right in front of me, I swear, had 6 of everything. It was almost like she was shopping for a food pantry.
Oh, yeah.
And she was even 3 back. And so I'm sitting there with nothing in my hands. And she doesn't seem super friendly. But obviously she is, because she's buying all this stuff surely for someone else, not just her. And I thought to myself, do I ask her? Because now it is getting a little close. I was a little later today than I usually am. If I could just
jump in.
I only have this one thing. I did not. And because I thought, you know what? If she wants to do it, she's going to say, go ahead. What do you have?
I always take it when it's offered. I've never asked.
So that's what I'm wondering. Would you have asked on the, text line?
If it was important and I was jammed up, I might walk to the front and make sort of a stage whisper, make a demonstrative, hey, Henrietta, or whoever hey, you still have my chicken salad here? Okay, I'm back.
Oh, make a big show.
Make a show of it. And then somebody,
see.
This is all I needed today. Mm-hmm. You're looking at the faces of the people.
Yeah, right. All of it. And then I also thought, is the cashier, Ashley, who was fantastic, is she going to see me and say, oh, come on up?
Right.
Neither one of those things happened, so I was a little later.
Part 2, you could have, from in line, Henrietta, I'm back.
Yeah.
And then give her the prompt that
bring me on up.
And then she's good. And goes back to doing her thing, and you go, okay.
And I just thought, you know what? This is a lesson in me being patient.
Right.
Let's just stand here.
I think you did the right thing.
Okay.
I'll tell you that order that you mentioned. I was in college, and I had this history professor, and Bob, he was just like your quintessential, very harried. His hair was disheveled. His shirt was always untucked, just in one part. And
Anyone?
Yeah.
Gilbert?
Yeah.
Gilbert?
I see him at the Schnucks, on Stadium there at Mizzou, and he has 6 jars of pasta sauce and 5 boxes of pasta.
They're going to have a pasta party.
I'm like, oh, this guy probably lives by himself.
Yeah.
This is the only meal he eats.
It's the only thing he can cook.
My dad had a swinging bachelor friend when we were little, and you'd go into his pantry. There was 40 boxes of mac and cheese.
Wow.
So, single men, I guess they like what they eat.
The year I lived at the lake, there was always bacon, there was always eggs, there was always rice. What are the little cups of rice?
The single serve rice cups?
Like minute rice?
No, I can't think of the brand of it. Anyway,
like the cup of noodles, ramen.
Yeah, but it's just rice, and you put it in.
Yeah,
and and popcorn, always popcorn. That was about it.
What did you eat with the rice?
Salt.
It wasn't a side dish. That was your main dish.
That was the dish.
That was it.
You gotta get a little more protein in there.
Yeah, you're right.
I remember going to a former coworker's apartment who was a bachelor, and he had 1 cup, 1 plate.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, he couldn't even pour anybody a drink. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I mean, nothing matched, but I at least had
more than one.
Multiple place settings.
Our friend John Eaton just said, my 13-year-old daughter is in my truck saying, what are these people even talking about? Dad, put some music on.
I think that's good advice.
She's 13. I get it.
She'll understand when she goes to college.
She doesn't get the minutia of the line,
Yeah, pay for something sometime.
Somebody said, I've been in such a hurry, I've asked a person if I can give them $10 for a $6 item to scan on their bill and leave.
Oh.
Okay. I never have cash.
That's a really big hurry.
I'm going to post up at the self-check and just wait for someone. I'm going to make some money today.
Okay, but again, I was at the same Walmart where you had to be a member to use the self-checkout.
Oh, no.
It was the same place. Now, I've been to other Walmarts that don't do that.
Yeah, the one by our house doesn't.
All the texters that day when you brought that up said they never ask for member ID.
It's the one in Richmond Heights, Maplewood. Where's that line cross?
Not the one on Grand and Shoto, right? That's a Walmart there, right?
No, that's a Target.
Oh, my mistake. That's
Yes.
a Target. You're so right.
My
Yeah.
buddy works for the Waltons, and he says that's one of the biggest ones in the country.
Maplewood, I would agree.
Oh.
The lines, matter of fact, I was sitting there thinking, how much money does this one Walmart make in a day? Because I swear to you, every line, every cashier that was open, every line was at least 7 deep.
I'm going to ask him right now.
gosh.
Yeah,
See
I
if
would
can
love
I'll get you an answer.
to know. Love to know. All right. Well, you guys know what we have coming up. I'm really excited to talk to Beth Macy, who is a best-selling author of Dope Sick. She now has a new memoir out, Paper Girl. We're going to talk to her next.
You might know Graybar for cable and connectivity, but there's one more thing you should know us for that can help optimize your project's total value, like our comprehensive electronic solutions for security, AV, wireless, and networking, or our specialized job site services, like material staging and kitting, or maybe our logistics specialists, who can help you identify efficiencies and ensure just-in-time delivery. So, consider what one more thing you may need to optimize your bottom line and get to know us for that. Yep, Graybar does
Hey,
that.
it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. St. Louis winters don't mess around, and neither should you. When those freezing temps hit, the last thing you want to do is discover your furnace isn't up to the job. That's why now is the perfect time to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians will give your system a full checkup, making sure it's safe, efficient, and ready to keep your family warm all season long. Think of it like an oil change for your car. A little preventative care now saves you from big, expensive breakdowns later. Plus, a tuned-up system runs more efficiently, which means lower energy bills when the cold really sets in. So don't wait until you're shivering under 3 blankets. Schedule your heating inspection today with Premier Heating and Cooling. Excellent rating with the Better Business Bureau. So many of their new customers are referred by happy customers like me. PremierHeatingCooling.net, 636-916-1122.
Health insurance can feel complicated, but Medica health plans are different. See, we're nonprofit, which means people first, not shareholders. And we're right here in St. Louis with affordable plans for local care you trust. Your doctors, your hospitals, to help you feel your best. With Medica, your health coverage can feel a bit simpler. And now, we're here for you. Medica Health Plans. You're not just covered, you're cared for.
Scott, remember when the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Pile were flying around the arch selling flooring?
Andrea, that was the Queen of Carpet and the Princess of Tile.
Oh, that's right. But we don't need shtick here at Best Buy Flooring.
That's right, because our in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile are already at low, low prices.
Come see us at our 3 area locations, North County, South County, and Metro East. Open 7 days a week.
Plus, free financing on approved credit. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
Everybody loves good barbecue, and everybody wants to know where the next great barbecue place is. And if you're looking for an overnight sensation, it's only taken them 10 years. 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery, Woods Mill and Clayton Road. There is a gas station, West County Phillips 66 gas station. In that gas station, in the back, for 10 years, some of the best barbecue in town. Bring a friend and spread the word. 3 Bay Barbecue and Bakery. Don't forget about the bakery. 3BayBarbecueandBakery.com.
I'm Jill Farmer for TB Exteriors, your choice for professional roofing, gutter, siding, and windows in the St. Louis metro area. They'll help you with your roofing insurance claims for residential or commercial roofs. They're CertainTeed Select Shingle Masters and offer the highest level warranties. Right now, mention KTRS and get $500 off a full roof replacement. Call TB Exteriors at 636-362-9503 or visit tbexteriorsmo.com to schedule a free estimate.
You've seen the movies Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick. Have you always wondered what it would be like to be a Top Gun instructor or pilot? Now is your chance at the National Museum of Transportation. On October 15th at 7 p.m., Captain Kevin Proton McLaughlin, United States Navy retired former commander of Top Gun and technical advisor to the movie Top Gun Maverick, will be the featured speaker. Tickets are $30. Reserve your spot now online at tnmot.org at the National Museum of Transportation.
Schrader Funeral Homes and Crematory, St. Louis's oldest family-owned funeral home, offering complete funeral, burial, and cremation services, including an on-site reception center and crematory. 150 years of serving St. Louis families. Visit them at schrader.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Meep, meep. 3:28, time to get our first check of traffic with Captain Paul on this Friday.
Heidi, the latest is a crash on westbound 70 past 141. It has been moved to the shoulder and is causing just a slight slowdown. Westbound 64 is running slow from 364 to the 6470 interchange. It's the final day of road work on 5570 in Collinsville with lane closures in both directions between Illinois 111 and Fairmount. And the ramp from eastbound 270 to southbound 170 is closed until 9 p.m. this afternoon, or 5 p.m. this afternoon for road work. From the, actually, this traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. Check out the Neighbors Credit Union Debit All Day account, a checklist checking account featuring a Neighbors Visa debit card, the convenience of online and mobile banking, and access to your direct deposits up to 2 days early. Online at neighborscu.org, federally insured by NCUA, membership eligibility required. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And now, KTRS weather.
Sunny skies, dry and mild. Sound familiar? We're really into a beautiful pattern here. The high about 73 degrees under beautiful sunshine and blue skies today, light winds. Overnight lows in the 40s tonight, looking for maybe a little patch of fog near some of the river valleys, and a high on Friday of 76 degrees. Afternoon clouds increase a little bit, a 20% rain chance west of St. Louis, but will probably stay dry in the metro area. In the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kent Earhart for the Big 550 KTRS.
Now it's time for the KTRS Book Club.
It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. Group words together as a sentence.
Powered each week by the St. Louis County Library on the Big 550.
Well, you see, I spell them like this sounds, you know.
KTRS.
Tom Hanks wrote that her novel Dopesick was a deep and deeply needed look into the troubled soul of America. Now best-selling author Beth Macy is sharing her own story in Paper Girl. She'll be at the Clark Family Branch of the St. Louis County Library tonight at 7. But first, we have the honor of chatting with her. Thanks so much for making time for us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Beth, before we get to your new memoir, can we talk about Dopesick and what a masterpiece it was?
Well, of course we can. Thank you.
And let's start with the story of Tess Henry. How did you meet this woman?
Well, you're not going to believe it, but a friend of mine is a great dog rescuer, and the kind of person that'll pull over on an interstate to rescue a dog or a turtle. And she found Tess's dog had escaped, and when she returned the dog to Tess and her mom, they were early on in Tess's journey. And Tess had just had a baby, and the mother was a nurse and didn't know if she could leave her heroin-addicted daughter home alone with the baby. And my friend Elizabeth asked if they'd be willing to tell me, and they were so frustrated by the lack of urgency that anyone they had turned to for help had shown them that they just wanted to get the word out about how hard it is to get evidence-based care.
Wow.
So Beth, you obviously you felt like it was an important story. That's why you wrote about it. Were you how moved were you when you saw how the nation embraced it, and that the story kept going and kept being covered and went to movies and all those kinds of things? That had to make you feel like, you're doing your part.
Yeah, I mean, the book did great. It was a bestseller. It won an award, but so many more people, alas, watch TV than read books, that it was a real opportunity to be able to bring it to the small screen and have millions of more people begin to see like who the real perpetrators of this are. It's not your brother-in-law who works at Subway who's been in and out of jail most of his adult life. It's these pill peddlers that, got these folks addicted to start with.
And your book is nonfiction, but the TV show is narrative. What are your thoughts on the two different mediums telling the same story?
Yeah, well, it was really interesting. I was in the writer's room. It was a new experience, and the showrunner, Danny Strong, was kind enough to let me have, a lot of input on the show. I co-wrote 2 of the episodes, but my main contribution is, one, I didn't want to stereotype Appalachia, which always seems to happen. I'm like, guys, I live here. We can't be doing this. And then 2, I just wanted a really clear message about how hard it is for folks to access medication-assisted treatment. So when you see an A-list actor who's playing a doctor, Michael Keaton, struggle to get on methadone and then struggle to get on Suboxone or buprenorphine, and all these forces against him that are discriminating against people who are taking this medicine that, every drug prevention group, National Institutes of Drug Abuse say is the best medicine for this, then you really start to see how powerful narratives shape this. And actually, people died because of that narrative, and Tess died in part because of that narrative.
I mean, you included so many heartbreaking stories, and now you're sharing your own. What's harder to write?
Somebody asked me that the other night, and I had to say dope sick just because of just being around death, right? And being around grieving parents.
Yeah.
I mean, even as I went out talking about the book, and I still go out and talk about the book, and there is never a moment in a library or a community center when I don't have crying, usually mothers in the book signing line. And, I always stop. We hug, we talk about it. I usually ask if I can sign the book in memory of their loved one with their name. And it's, that was just the hardest thing I've ever had to done. I've never been to a funeral home where a mother is saying goodbye to her battered daughter's body before. And then just, taking on Big Pharma was no picnic either.
I would assume not. But I think, Beth, what Dope Sick really did is maybe make people feel like it wasn't their fault a little bit. That you gave them a little more leg to stand on.
Absolutely. One of the best responses we've had to it didn't even happen to me. It was another writer in the writer's room, and he was right when the show came out. It was during COVID, and he had a Hulu mask on. And the woman behind him said, "Oh, have you seen that show Dope Sick?" And he said sheepishly, "Oh, well, actually, I worked on that." And she said, "I saw that show, and for the first time in 3 years, I called my addicted son."
Wow.
So to hear that something you've worked on has actually changed the way families react and talk to each other, and, like I say, flip the narrative is a life goal.
Well, you mentioned taking on Big Pharma. I mean, did you ever think that you would, help end the oxy epidemic?
No. And, I was just a local reporter at a newspaper at the Roanoke Times, where I had worked for 25 years. And I was assigned in 2011 to write about the fact that heroin was this scourge, and it wasn't in the inner city neighborhood. It was in the wealthy suburbs. And, I remember I did this three-part series, and readers sort of spit their coffee out with breakfast. Like, what? Wealthy white kids are doing heroin? And it was just thinking, like, we could put readers on alert that if you've got these leftover oxys and other opioids in your medicine cabinet, this is how a lot of teenagers get started, and had no idea. I just knew a teeny bit of the story at that point. And then, like you do, then it came out in 2015 that our life expectancy was going down for the first time in history, largely because of deaths of despair and mostly because of overdoses. So at that point, I really decided to do the deep dive.
The Sacklers got their $1 billion judgment. Do you think it was enough?
Well, as a prosecutor told me several years ago, when no one goes to jail, when white-collar criminals don't go to jail, the behavior continues. So a lot of the parents I know don't think it was enough. It's certainly not all the wealth they made off OxyContin, and they don't think it's enough.
We're talking to best-selling author Beth Macy, who is the author of Dope Sick. She now has a memoir out, Paper Girl. And when someone sees a picture of you at the Emmys with Michael Keaton, they'd have no idea about the struggles you faced growing up. So what do you think led to you being able to change your narrative?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a family with addiction and poverty, early teen parenthood, all these things saddled generations of my family. And what I have always thought was the difference was twofold, like really good support system in the small town where I grew up in Urbana, Ohio, really good schools, and then being able to go to college. I went to college in 1982, and that was at the end of this brief window in our history when a poor kid could go to a four-year university basically for free, because the Pell Grant back then, when tuition was so low, paid the full freight. I even got money for my books and work-study jobs so I can buy pizza and beer like everybody else. And now that same grant, because of defunding of higher ed and skyrocketing tuition, now that same person would only get about 30% of their costs covered.
So do you feel like that maybe that going to the university, getting away from where you were and helping you find yourself, am I reading too much into that, or was that a turning point for you?
Oh, totally a turning point. And then, just following, as you do in journalism, going from one city to the next. And then I settled fairly early on in Roanoke, Virginia, where I worked for, I still live there. I've been a journalist there for 36 years. And also, marrying a husband who was this middle-class guy that didn't have addiction in his family, and just being able to experience what almost like a peaceful environment. And in the new book, I follow the travails of, I did a lot of research to find kind of a young me to tell the story of growing inequality. And this is a young man named Silas James. And I liked his story because we were both leaders of the high school marching band, and in both of our cases, our band director kept us out of a lot of trouble and was sort of a parent figure. And so I kind of glommed onto him after talking to several kids, and he got a full ride to a community college, but that full ride didn't cover his transportation, and it was a 2-hour commute, an hour each way. And I watched him go through 5 clunker cars and 4 jobs. And I mean, he eventually got his 10-month welding certificate, but it was really, really hard.
Yeah.
And he wasn't able to step away from the chaos and the trauma of his family until relatively recently. And I'm happy to report he's doing well. But just to see, almost the exact same circumstances, although he did have a lot more trauma in his life, and his dad had overdosed of methadone overdose and died. His mother was in and out of jail. I had one stable parent, and that was huge. But just to see how much harder, almost impossible it was for somebody, and I'm not any smarter or any better than Silas, but this is what happens now if you grow up on the wrong side of the track.
Well, I do think that's interesting, Beth, because the story is also about the town you grew up in. And then when you did return, I mean, you discovered it was kind of a more hardened place.
Yeah, and the middle class hollowed out around the same time I was leaving. And, a lot of the factories went away because of globalization and later the China shock. And so there weren't as many people for Silas to look to for guidance, or for this is an example of how you go away and how you conduct yourselves. And I had all my friends' parents were watching out for me, or they give me rides home from band and softball practice and things like that, or give me a hug when I was having a bad time, or do a little de facto counseling. And what I saw is that I spent 2 years going back to my hometown. I'd spend about a week every month there, and both interviewing people over and over, the same, call it 8 people, but also interviewing lots of people around them and learning, that foster care has tripled since 2015 because of the opioid crisis. Mental health calls have gone multiplied by 9 since I left there 40 years ago. Food stamps have doubled in the last decade. Graduation rate has gone down 12 points in the last decade. And when you start to look at that and how the public schools are not being trusted today, and a lot of people there are homeschooling or they're open enrolling their kids in other districts because they have higher test scores, then you'd start to see the public schools just being further eroded because the parents who maybe are more interested in the test scores and stuff like that are pulling their kids out. And then the money goes with that kid to the district. And so it's like the middle class hollowed out. And then basically the school system did its own version of hollowing out. And attendance, especially since COVID, has been really, really bad.
So you write about your hometown, Urbana, Ohio, which actually our Urbana, Champaign-Urbana, that's closer to us, that town's named after your Urbana. Interestingly
my
enough.
Urbana is really old, chartered in 1805. But everybody thinks it's Illinois because it is bigger.
Yeah. But the vice president, J.D. Vance, wrote his memoir about a small town in Ohio, which probably isn't that far from Urbana. Have you read his book? Is it the same town that you have come home to that he describes in his hometown?
Well, not exactly the same. I think maybe the demographics in Middletown, Ohio are maybe even a little rougher than they are in Urbana just now. I have read his book. I thought it was a great portrait of first-generation college student. I disagreed with his choice not to put in, sort of blames the people of Appalachia for their own poverty. They didn't bootstrap hard enough. And to me, there wasn't enough historical context around what happened. So in this book, not only does the flagship factory called Grimes Manufacturing morph, and now it's an international conglomerate employing about a third of what it once employed. But this was somewhere where my mom worked, and I saw she would get laid off and have to pick up under the table jobs. And so I show you that history through real people as it's happening in the narrative of my own story. And now the problem is really there are still manufacturing jobs in Urbana, but every single manager that I talk to at these plants can't get folks to show up.
Yeah.
Can't get enough people that can't. And so if we're going to bring back manufacturing to this country, I think we need to make the population healthier. And a lot of that has to do with offering mental health services and access to treatment at the scale to match the problem.
Yeah, well, I cannot wait to read your new book, Paper Girl, and you can get a copy of Paper Girl at the Novel Neighbor in Webster Groves and, of course, wherever books are sold. You can hear more from Beth Macy tonight at 7 at the Clark Family Branch of the St. Louis County Library. Beth, somebody on our text line says, kudos to her dope sick. It was amazing, and we can't thank you enough for really shining a light on so many dark parts of America.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk to all three of you, and thanks for your interest in my work.
Absolutely.
The Hill in St. Louis is known for many things. The close-knit neighborhood, the shotgun-style homes, the mom-and-pop shops. But perhaps the most striking feature of the community is the pride of their Italian heritage. From the fire hydrants painted red, white, and green, to the many great Italian restaurants, the influence of America's other little Italy is clear to see. One of the staples of the Hill is Mama's on the Hill, perhaps one of the most famous and historic restaurants in St. Louis, and the home of the toasted ravioli. You see, in the early 40s, Chef Fritz accidentally dropped an order of ravioli in hot oil instead of hot water. That accident exploded in popularity and was soon served nationwide. Experience their toasted ravs and the rest of their delicious, authentic Italian food at Mama's on the Hill today. You'll taste why Mama's on the Hill is the premier family restaurant on the Hill. Celebrate Italian Heritage Day on Sunday, October 12th on the Hill with the annual Italian Heritage Day Parade at 12:30, followed by the Italian Festa at Barra Park.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit CantorInjuryLaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. This is our favorite motoring season. Great top-down weather or getting the bike out. The temps are perfect. Of course, we can fix you up with one if you're in need. Attractive financing options available with no payments until 2026. Keep that in mind. Now, if you have one and don't need it, we can help there too. We're always looking for super clean, low-mile, pristine Corvettes, muscle cars, classic cars, luxury cars, you name it. Motorcycles too, especially Ducatis and Harleys. We'll even buy entire collections. Hop on our site, submit what you've got, and we'll get you an offer. Easy as that.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
It's Jill Farmer, and I'm here with Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and author of the #1 best-selling book on new tax law, Keep What's Yours. Jeff, what do we need to know in October?
Jill, October is officially Financial Planning Month. The One Beautiful Bill Act locked in many of the tax laws set to revert back to the 2017 rules. But there were also changes to the tax code in this law, and we can help. Since 1976, thousands of businesses have relied upon the tax strategies offered by Capital Advisory Group to help them reduce their future tax liability and stop overpaying their federal and state income taxes. If you're not taking full advantage of the tax law and you feel like you're paying more than your fair share, then let us help you plan for 2026 and take advantage of the new tax rule.
Give Capital Advisory Group a call, 636-394-5524. Online at capitaladvisorygrp.com. That's 636-394-5524 and online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Mizzou football on the Big 550. KTRS is powered by Royal Banks of Missouri.
Touchdown, Missouri!
Catch all the action right here on the Big 550. KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550. KTRS.
It's about 10 minutes before 4 o'clock. Captain Paul, what are you seeing out there?
Heidi, I see that the latest is a crash on westbound 70 past 5th Street in St. Charles. It's blocking the two left lanes with a stop and go back up to 270. The estimated clearance time is 4:25. An accident on southbound 55 at Route Z in Peevely has traffic backed up to near Highway M. Westbound 64 is running slow around 364 and is stop and go at times at Prospect. And the ramp from eastbound 270 to southbound 170 is closed until 5 p.m. this afternoon for road work. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, people are sharing the strangest rules their parents had growing up. I think they're so interesting what some parents don't like. No stepping on the bath mat with wet feet. Isn't that what
that's the purpose.
Bath mat is for?
But then it gets all soggy.
And then it'll get dank.
Yeah. They weren't allowed to watch anything that depicted a dysfunctional family. And this person says maybe because we realized we were them.
Didn't want to see themselves on TV.
Another interesting, no turning on the lights during a thunderstorm. I feel like a lot of these are like just strange things that parents had their own issues with instead of like a real rule. I had to bring home the plastic sandwich bags for my school lunch to be used again the next day.
Oh, no.
Now, I think probably more people had to do that than...
Yeah, reuse them. I can see that.
That's saving a little money if you're taking them and throwing them out every single day. I wasn't allowed to invite a friend over for a second time until they invited me over to their house.
Was that a thing? Mm-hmm. Was that a thing that's got to be reciprocal?
That's what... And they say my mom kept track of how many times I invited friends over and demanded they reciprocate.
Oh, boy.
Before I invite them back over. I just thought some of those were a little interesting. Do you have something that you feel like was an odd rule growing up? Text us on the KTRS text line.
We had a thing one time. We were playing baseball. We were little, playing baseball in one guy's backyard. And to this day, nobody knows what set his dad off, and he'd run us out of his yard.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if we were trampling the grass or what we were doing. He was really mad. And when I told my dad, he says, you can never go back there. He never let me go to their yard ever again.
Whoa.
Were you still friends with the kid?
Yeah.
Could he come over without the reciprocal invitation?
Yeah, he was always welcome to our house.
Yeah, right. Your dad was probably like, why don't you just come over here? You know?
Where it's normal.
Did you think the dad called your dad and said,
No,
these kids are trampling on this or that?
No, he was kind of acted crazy one time. We probably did something we didn't know we did.
Yeah.
Or he thought we did.
Nothing was broken. You didn't crack a window.
No, but I just thought it was kind of a weird rule that my dad, you can never go back there.
Uh-huh.
Has anyone ever broken a window with
in
a baseball?
my backyard? Terry, I think it was Tommy Watt. It might have been Tommy or his brother Ray. We had a walkout basement with a picture window. And we were playing baseball. Not wiffle ball.
Baseball.
Hardball.
I guess I too much on my fastball. He couldn't get around.
On the sliding glass door?
No, on the picture window.
Oh, in the window.
And I can still see it in my mind in slow motion.
Oh.
And my heart sinking as it punched through the glass. And
through the air or it was a bounce?
No, it was a nice little...
That's one that sticks with you.
It stuck with me.
Man.
Now, that was one, surprisingly, I didn't get in too much trouble. Just, okay, no more baseball in the backyard. And I think he and the neighbor, they were... Mr. Watt and my dad were really good friends, and so they just worked it out.
Yeah.
So we lived in suburbia, chain link fences, backyards, everyone, everyone's on top of each other. We never thought to use a real ball because
you were smarter than us.
We knew what would happen.
Well, we were growing. We didn't know when you're little you can bounce it around. And
I never used a wiffle ball. We always played with a real softball.
With a real ball?
Yeah.
We played wiffle ball almost exclusively, and then when we would do hot box, or was there a game that was called Pop Fly? Where you
we played flies and grounders, we called it.
Threw it up in the air, and then you try to tag up and get... we played that with a tennis ball.
Boring.
Well, you guys were smarter, more civilized.
Boring.
Oh, it's not, then you're not going to throw the real baseball properly, though, if that's all you're throwing.
But it is funny. We used to play in a kind of a half cul-de-sac on the next street over, and it started out playing with a baseball, and then you go to like a tennis ball, and then finally to wiffle ball because you're just getting too big.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody going back to the rules, only 2 squares of toilet paper, no matter what.
Whoa, that is not enough.
Can't spare a square.
Somebody said no street clothes on the bed, and you could not go to sleep with socks on. Isn't it?
My feet are cold, though.
Yeah.
Somebody else texted in, you had to count the squares on the toilet paper.
Yeah, her father was a product of depression, and you were not to waste toilet paper. It was a luxury.
Wow.
The depression had an effect on so many people. I've told you this story before. We went saw the movie, the boxing movie with Russell Crowe. Cinderella Man.
Yes.
And the depression was a bit, that was the movie.
Yeah.
The boxing really wasn't that big.
It was
and
the
I remember
story.
coming home and seeing and talking to my wife's grandmother. I mentioned her just yesterday, I think, Lucille Boyer. And anyway, I said, boy, the depression, that was awful. And she had just a real stone face and said, it was. And you could tell that it still affected her.
Just even saying that word brought back all of those emotions. Yeah. Let's just hope we don't ever go back through that.
You couldn't go to sleep with socks on?
Mm-hmm.
My wife last night, she goes, before you get in bed, can you get me some socks? Because we had the windows open.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we've been sleeping up in a hot upstairs for a while now. We've been putting off fixing our AC unit. I guess we don't have to anymore. But in the wintertime, this is a new thing for me. I'm starting to put socks on.
I can't sleep in socks.
It happened to me, I don't know, Jen will probably text in probably 10 years ago. I went from running pretty hot to running cold.
Really?
And so I wear socks most of the time, probably 4 or 5 nights a week.
Even in the summer?
Yeah, because we got the AC on. It's 70 degrees.
It doesn't wake you up when it kind of comes off your heel and then it all, like, it's hanging halfway.
I wear good socks, Heidi. Come on. I'm a big sock guy.
Big sock guy.
I'm going to admit something.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like to do the half on, half off. I kind of prefer it.
No.
Because it's not too hot.
It's the main reason I don't sleep in socks.
You know what? If they fit snugly, you can pull them off your heel and just make your toes not be hot.
Yeah. And
That'd be cold.
If you're good enough, one time I was trying to kick them off with my toes, and then I pulled something,
Oh, boy.
Can you get a Charlie horse in your toe?
Yeah, you can. All right, we'll come back after this short break, and we've got our headlines, and then Mike Ward joins us with a fairly new canned, it's not really a cocktail, it's not really wine. I'll just leave it there, and we'll tell you more about it coming up next.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcast? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Yeah, stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things, uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Mizzou football.
It's a rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 1061, K291CW St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. 10 days into the government shutdown, hundreds of thousands of furloughed workers received only a half paycheck today. And the White House now carrying out federal layoffs. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest.
The major federal workers union is calling it disgraceful, accusing the administration of using the shutdown as a way to cut costs, as they have said that they plan to do before. We don't have an exact number. That's something that we expect to learn perhaps in the coming days. Now, as far as agencies go, Health and Human Services, Department of Education, not necessarily surprising that we've heard from those two, given the administration targeting each of them in the past few months as a way to cut costs. But the method of which they are doing it is certainly getting pushback.
In Tennessee, a search for victims following a massive blast at a high-explosives military-style plant west of Nashville. At least 19 are unaccounted for, and there are fatalities. ABC's Matt Rivers has more.
This is a company that makes a very wide array of different types of explosives for the military, aerospace, commercial, demolition. They're talking about TNT, claymore mines, avalanche control charges, pellets that are used in medium caliber warheads. There are a lot of things at this facility that are produced that explode.
The cause still unknown. A ceasefire has been in effect in Gaza for 12 hours. It's phase 1 of the U.S. peace plan. All remaining hostages are expected to be released as early as Monday, along with the exchange of Palestinian prisoners. A U.S. official tells ABC News 200 American troops will be posted inside Israel to monitor The ceasefire. ABC News national security intelligence analyst Mick Mulroy says some of the troops will likely help with aid into Gaza.
All the food is available. It is in warehouses, but it will be a Herculean effort to get this started and going and flowing in, but it is very much needed. And I imagine these troops that are going in specialize in this, so logistics-based forces.
You're listening to ABC News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. Monty Henderson has been sentenced to 21 years in prison for the February 2024 incident that killed a mother and daughter after a Drake concert in downtown St. Louis. Henderson addressed the family of the victims at today's sentencing hearing, telling them words cannot express how sorry he is and saying he starts and ends his day every day by praying for them. Prosecutors said Henderson was driving over 70 miles an hour when he ran a red light, killing 42-year-old Letitia Bracero, known as Letty, and her 21-year-old daughter Alyssa Cordova as they left the Drake concert on Valentine's Day in 2024. The mother and daughter were visiting from Chicago. The sheriff of St. Louis is facing more legal troubles. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
The sheriff of St. Louis is being placed under house arrest following new federal charges. The U.S. Justice Department unsealed an indictment against Sheriff Alfred Montgomery on Thursday, accusing him of tampering with evidence and retaliating against witnesses. Federal prosecutors say Montgomery was heard in a recorded phone conversation admitting to demoting a lieutenant because he believed they were involved in the case against him. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
And this afternoon, a judge ruled that St. Louis Sheriff Alfred Montgomery can stay on the job for now, even if he goes to jail on Tuesday. At the court hearing this afternoon, Montgomery's lawyers argued that he should still have a chance to be heard at trial. Presiding Judge Stephen Omer agreed. The Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services is urging residents to take precautions as the state experiences a rise in West Nile virus activity this year. Data shows a marked increase in human cases in Missouri, as well as nationally compared to previous years. Jefferson County is taking steps to prepare for the flu season. The Jefferson County Department of Health will hold its first free drive-through flu vaccination clinic today. It will be held at its new headquarters on Peachtree Plaza in Hillsboro from 3 this afternoon until 7 this evening. Many families travel from far distances to St. Louis to get treatment at local hospitals for their seriously ill children, and this can be a financial and emotional strain for many. KTRS's Steve Potter reports about a local charity that helps with food and lodging that is currently conducting its fall fundraiser.
There are 2 Ronald McDonald houses in St. Louis that provide a home away from home for families so they can stay close to their hospitalized children. On The McGraw Show, McDonald House Chairman and CEO R.J. Crunk says so far this year they've helped close to 1,000 families who've had children hospitalized in St. Louis, and that this current fundraiser is important.
It's our Home Away from Home campaign this fall, and we're trying to raise about $600,000 to help close out the year to make sure that going into next year and the end of this year that we can continue to provide this service for the families.
You can donate at rmhcstl.org. Crunk says although a nominal fee is requested, no families are turned away or denied a stay because of their ability to pay. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The number of initial unemployment claims is up sharply in Missouri. The Missouri Department of Labor reports there were over 6,200 claims filed during the week ending on October 4th. That marks an increase of nearly 4,000 claims from the previous week. This look at the markets now is brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement at a special time tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., as we take you into Mizzou football pregame coverage. It was a down day on Wall Street at the close. Dow Jones down 878 points to close at 45,479. S&P 500 finished down 182 to 6,552, and NASDAQ fell 820 points to close at 22,204. Now let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Mizzou football takes on number 8 Alabama tomorrow in Columbia in one of the biggest games of the weekend. Catch a full in-depth preview beginning tonight at 6 p.m. on KTRS with the James Carlton State Farm Mizzou Game Plan show. Game day coverage begins tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on the Big 550. And number 17 Illinois football hosts number 1 Ohio State tomorrow in Champaign. The Illini will look to upset the Buckeyes for the first time since 2007, which was also a top-ranked OSU squad. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. A crash on westbound 70 past 5th Street in St. Charles is blocking the 2 left lanes with a stop and go back up to 270. Estimated clearance time is 4:25. An accident on southbound 55 at Route Z in Peevely has traffic jammed back to Highway M, and westbound 64 is crowded from 364 to the 6470 interchange. This traffic report is brought to you by Lion's Choice, the home of the legendary roast beef sandwich, made with 100% top round beef that's roasted on site and piled high on a lightly toasted buttered bun. And that secret seasoning. If you know, you know. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. If you know, you know. KTRS weather today, sunny, high of 74. Tonight, clear with an overnight low of 50. Warmer this weekend. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 74. And Sunday, sunny, high of 77. Right now, under beautiful sunny skies, we do have 74 degrees. The time is 4:09. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Friday afternoon, October 10th. Savannah Bananas coming back to Busch Stadium in 2026. Banana Ball is getting bigger and traveling to more of the U.S. than ever before. The Banana Ball Championship League, home of the viral Savannah Bananas baseball team, is adding 2 more teams and announced an expansive 2026 schedule that will take them across the country. The team, known for its unique spin on baseball, adding dance routines, acrobatics, and fan participation to the games, of course. The 4-team league is currently made up of the Party Animals, Texas Tailgaters, and the Firefighters. 2 new teams, the Loco Beach Coconuts and the Indianapolis Clowns, will join next season. The Indianapolis Clowns are named after a Negro League team, a league of all-black baseball players in the 1920s, which were known as the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball and served as inspiration for the 1976 movie, The Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Throughout the 2026 season, the teams will play in front of 3.2 million fans at 75 stadiums in 45 states.
Did I read somewhere, does it say in your story, maybe even going to some big football stadiums?
Yes.
Is that correct?
They are. They'll be at Busch Stadium August 21st and 22nd to battle the Coconuts. It sold out last year. It was nuts.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe the only real sellout
of the
season.
Summer. Yeah, you're right.
You know, not tickets counted, turnstile.
Right.
I got 2 quick ones here because they're kind of the same thing in officials may or may not be holding back information. Number 1, Houston police deny a serial killer as a 16th body is pulled from a bayou.
Ooh.
At least 16 people this year. That's this year. With residents speculating the deaths could be linked to a serial killer. Texas mayor says we do not have any evidence that there is a serial killer loose in Houston. 5 bodies were discovered in a 5-day span last month. Houston residents are on edge with a record number of bodies being pulled out of the bayous. Officials are denying rumors that the deaths are linked. And the fact that demonstrative in his, or it's wild speculation, it's misinformation, instead of saying we're open to all possibilities and we're investigating.
Seems a little suspicious.
I wonder. Then here's the other one, and we'll bring in Inspector Josh on this one as well. I don't know if you saw the other day, a lady died on the Haunted Mansion ride in Anaheim.
Oh, no.
But here's what's interesting. The cause of death will not be revealed.
What do you mean? Why not?
And nobody's asking.
Well, what about the guy at Universal? They're real cagey about that one, too.
And I told you, and here's what makes me wonder about this. I used to do a thing on the Ocho called the SWAT Challenge.
Ooh.
SWAT teams and police departments from all over the country, and I got to know a guy from Orlando, and he said on Disney World's property, now this death at the Haunted Mansion was Disneyland, but on the Disney World property, they go, they're in charge.
The police don't have any...
Disney's in charge, maybe officially, but Disney, when Josh has a heart attack, they don't leave him there like you're supposed to till the police come. And
they clean it out because they don't want the distraction.
Or they don't
I'm
want to
skeptical.
close down a ride.
Right.
We heard about this in that fight that Disney had with Ron DeSantis, and we found out that the Disney properties are like their own county, and their own municipality, their own government.
Still think that there would be some overreaching police department.
Corners and all that stuff.
Death happens, you know.
So there's two stories, and I guess what I'm saying is don't trust anybody.
Nothing to say here, folks.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, look, he's killing himself.
I'm glad you told that story. Okay, the Nobel Prizes came out this week, and did you hear how two of the people who won the Nobel Prize in medicine found out that they had won? So apparently there was 3 people involved in this project. They all 3 won the Nobel Prize for medicine. But a woman, her name is Lindsay Wasson. She's sleeping. It's Seattle. It's 4 a.m., okay? An AP photographer shows up to take her picture.
At 4 a.m.?
No, nobody
Yes.
would do that.
She says she knocks on the door. The dog woke up first. Then her husband woke up, answered the door, and said, yeah. And the AP photographer said, sir, I think your wife just won the Nobel Prize. And so he went in and woke her up. And she, taking pictures of all of this, because he let her in, you know. What wife would murder their husband for letting the photographer come in?
Come into the bedroom, she's got bed head.
Yes. The cold cream is still on.
I feel like this is staged.
Hey, I'm reading this from Fortune magazine. And her response to her husband when he woke her up at 4 o'clock in the morning was, don't be ridiculous. The research that they did dated back 2 decades, 20
What
years
was it?
ago. It's peripheral immune tolerance.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, yada, yada, yada. Another person on that won the Nobel Prize, like I said, there's 3 of them. He was hiking in Yosemite. Or I'm sorry, Yellowstone.
Oh, Yellowstone.
I always get those two confused. He was hiking through Yellowstone with his wife and family, and he put his phone on airplane mode, which he always does as work-life balance. They drove back into town hours later, and his wife turns her phone back on and starts screaming.
Yeah, because you know how many text messages and phone calls.
She said, you just won the Nobel Prize in medicine. He said, no, I didn't. And then he turned his phone on and had 200 text messages.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's cool.
So he said, I never in a million years thought that I would win or had any desire to win.
That
when I
wasn't
did
the
this.
goal, yeah.
That wasn't the goal in any of this. And the next time I go on a hike, I'm still putting my phone in airplane
Good
mode.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fun. All right, coming up, I don't know who exactly invented wine, but they deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. We'll talk about wine after this.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. St. Louis winters don't mess around, and neither should you. When those freezing temps hit, the last thing you want to do is discover your furnace isn't up to the job. That's why now is the perfect time to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians will give your system a full checkup, making sure it's safe, efficient, and ready to keep your family warm all season long. Think of it like an oil change for your car. A little preventative care now saves you from big, expensive breakdowns later. Plus, a tuned-up system runs more efficiently, which means lower energy bills when the cold really sets in. So don't wait until you're shivering under 3 blankets. Schedule your heating inspection today with Premier Heating and Cooling. Excellent rating with the Better Business Bureau. So many of their new customers are referred by happy customers like me. PremierHeatingCooling.net, 636-916-1122.
Hi, I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I want your fixer-upper home. It's crazy to spend a ton of money fixing it up when I will pay you top dollar right now. I don't even care what condition it's in. Your trash is my treasure. No inspections, no contingencies, just cold, hard cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's Mike Robinson, 314-283-0867, or at robangproperties.com.
If you're looking for your next home, think of First Community. Our Smart Choice Home Loan offers a 30-year fixed rate of just 6.531% APR to qualified borrowers, and you only need a down payment of 10%. Whether it's your first home, your forever home, or even a vacation home, be smart with a Smart Choice loan from First Community for all your savings and all your loans. Must qualify for membership. For terms and conditions, call toll-free 1-888-642-7969. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
Permajack of St. Louis is synonymous with foundation repair and basement waterproofing across the St. Louis region. They know when you get water in your basement following a storm or when the snow melts, it means you have a problem. Make sure your basement doesn't leak or flood with Permajack of St. Louis. Permajack's basement waterproofing experts can perform a complete inspection of your basement to determine the problem and design a solution to keep water from entering and damaging your home. The solution could be as simple as crack repair or a sump pump, or more comprehensive like exterior waterproofing or an internal perimeter drainage system. No matter the solution, your basement will be dry with Hometown Permajack. Schedule a free inspection and estimate by visiting permajackofstlewis.com. That's permajackofstlewis.com. Permajack, foundation repair and waterproofing. Done right.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Mike Lippert here with Lee C. Lumber Company. We're a family-owned company that's been providing quality wood products to builders, contractors, and homeowners in the St. Louis metro area since 1872. You've heard McGraw mention our knowledgeable staff, excellent customer service, and the best of woods. In addition to our lumber yards, we offer custom millwork for your outdoor project. We can produce your artistic cedar and fir timber trusses. For the best of woods and custom millwork, LeeCLumber.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, Mike Ward always keeps us in the know when it comes to interesting products. And today we're featuring a fun local product called Swirl. I actually tried it last year at a soccer match, and I was pleasantly surprised. Good to see you.
Yeah, great to be here. And it's fun to talk about local products, local small business, local winery.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite stuff to talk about.
Let's start about where it's made. Noble Ice Vineyards in Augusta. Give us a little history about the place.
I think probably many people know Noble Ice and have been there. It's a family-owned winery for 30 years. They have their 30th anniversary. And they're really known, their wines are known as premium wines, and that's what they want to be known for. not super expensive, but just premium wines.
Got it.
They grow their own grapes there at the winery. They work with other growers, both in Augusta and outside of Augusta, to make wine. And so Swirl is made there as well by their winemaker. But it's a little bit of a different project, obviously, because it's canned and flavored with real fruit.
And to be clear, it's not a canned wine.
Well, it's sangria.
Okay.
And there's 3 sangrias and 2 botanicals. And I mean, you probably
got to take us to class here.
Right.
Okay.
You could say it's a canned wine, but I would prefer to say it's sangria. It's a canned sangria.
Okay.
Sangria is a category of wine.
It is.
And what makes it separate? What is it?
So the history of sangria goes back to Spain and Portugal, when they would add fruit and maybe some grape-based brandy
to their red wine,
or white wine, or rosé, or sparkling. So it can cross over, and but wine is the
Is it
base.
always brandy that's added in?
Yes, because you can add a neutral like alcohol, but grape-based brandy is what is traditionally used.
Okay.
And then it can sit overnight, allow that fruit, and use seasonal fruit, fresh seasonal fruit. And so what they've done at Swirl is kind of take that work out of it, because they've already added the real fruit for you.
Oh.
There's no fruit in here. Don't think you're going to open the can and there's going to be a chunk of fruit coming out. But
Orange and grapes and
yeah.
strawberries. No. Okay, so then let's talk about the sangria versus the botanicals, because they're 2 different things.
So yeah, and the sangria fruit, and I can list what the fruits are, but the botanicals are different because of the herb and spice category. Like thyme and rosemary are part of the mix. So that would take it out of the sangria and
it's not
into a
fruit.
different category. Right. Yeah.
It's so interesting, and you made it a statement about it being made with real fruit, but it also has a slight fizz to it, doesn't it?
It does. And it should. It's not like a sparkling, but you'll see the bubbles and the carbonation, and that keeps it fresh. And I like that addition rather than, I don't think people want to open a can and have something flat.
No.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did they come up with this? Why did they want to Nobilize step into this category?
So interesting. So Angie and Chris, the 2 owners, who are the daughters of the original family, Bob Nolan, who owned it and has since passed away, and now they have taken this winery on and are doing a great job. And they saw trends and talked to their customers about, we love your wines. Have you ever tried this? Or something different, or a sangria. I would say you can expect these sangrias to have a level of sweetness, but to me, they're not really sweet.
Right, I would agree.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, because my wife likes sweeter wines. And so is there any of these that you would say is sweeter than any other, or what you would recommend to a drinker like her?
So the sangrias, especially the rosé, would have some noticeable sweetness, but it's not going to taste like a dessert wine. It's not going to be loaded with sugar. It's not going to overpower you or overwhelm you. It's a great cocktail. You can just open this can and pour it over ice.
Do
keep
you
it
need
chilled.
to add some fruit to it or no?
I'd say no, but you can add a garnish. You can always add a fresh garnish. That would be up to your taste.
I love the name. Do you have any idea where they got the name?
Well, that's a great question. I think they tested some different names, and they kind of like the idea of, the activation with the swirl.
Yeah.
The label shows that.
Yes.
And also probably, now I'm guessing here a little bit, they can tell me if this is wrong. When you're looking at names nowadays, it's got to be available
Right.
to use.
That's true.
So, but I really think it sets them apart. It is not like a canned RTD ready-to-drink cocktail. So there's so many cans nowadays.
Yes, there are.
You got to navigate. It is really a different category.
And so if you go into our local grocery stores, will you find Swirl on most of the shelves?
Most Schnucks and Deerbergs, you can get it. It's either in the department, or look for it cold.
Okay.
And
and does it come in 4-packs? Does it come in 6-packs?
Individual.
Okay.
And they are going to come out with some 4-packs and launch another product that we'll talk about down the road.
Somebody on our text line said my granddaughter was married and the reception was there at Noble Ice back in May of 2016. Great place.
So thank you for texting in. Here's what it kind of strikes me is you look out from Noble Ice and you see all the vineyards. So if you're standing at the winery in the tent, to your left is their now 15-year-old Norton vines, and right in front of you are other genuine Missouri vines. I know they've got some Traminette and some Sauvignon Blanc, I think, and some Vignoles. And so some of that fruit goes into this product. What I like is that connection. Family, local business, you're supporting a local business, and your grapes aren't coming from destinations that you have no idea. They're coming right here from our backyard.
And when you said that the winemakers use grapes, they're grown in Augusta, and then they also source others. Do you source grapes from California if you're making a Missouri wine? Do you source grapes from another vineyard in Missouri? Where do they get the rest of the grapes?
Certainly, wineries in Missouri can source fruit from destinations like Washington State or California. In this case, that doesn't happen. So I'm not going to be critical because I love all of our wineries, and we do lots of cool stuff here with grapes from all over. In this case, we're talking about grapes from your backyard. No, I shouldn't say that. Not your backyard. From right here in Augusta, from actual vineyards, not anybody's backyard. So they're locally sourced Missouri grapes.
Somebody else on the text line just said, love Noble Ice. And I know, Mike, you've been a big fan of them, and I know you won't pick favorites when it comes to local wineries, but what do you think they do so well?
Well, first of all, Augusta is the very first designated wine region in the country, which we don't talk about enough.
No, we don't.
You're right.
There are 5 wineries in Augusta, so it's a smaller region than the nation's second classified region, which is Napa Valley.
Well, they can continue to strive.
They'll, yes, they could. What I like about Noble Ice is that they've remained small and they are dedicated to showcasing that here in Missouri we can make good, high-quality wines. Just like, Napa Valley can, even though we don't grow those grapes, we can make really serious, high-quality wines here in Augusta, Missouri. And that's what I really, really like and admire about them.
How many wineries are in Augusta now?
So 5.
Wow.
4 of them are owned by the Hoffman family.
Okay.
And then Noble Ice is owned separately. But now people are going to go, oh, well, I've been to Defiance Ridge or Chandler Hill.
Right, that's Defiance.
That's not in Augusta. And there's nothing wrong with that. They make great wines. I'm not saying they don't.
Is that
don't get me
still,
wrong.
though, in the same Augusta?
It is not in the AVA.
Really?
Okay.
Right.
There's specific borders.
Please don't email me Defiance Ridge. You make
No,
great wines, but
I'm
love
shooting
Defiance
the messenger
Ridge.
right now. How did they exclude them?
Well, I mean, it's a defined geographic
And it's
boundary
historic, right? Yeah.
based on history, but also geology. So Augusta has a very unique soil composition that because a glacier stopped there and deposited everything it had picked up, and it mixed with all the clay. So Augusta itself, that's why it's the AVA, but at some point it ends.
Mm-hmm.
And
Further up the hill is Defiance,
Right.
and it didn't get that.
Make great wines.
7 miles to be exact, because I can ride my bike from one to the other. Yes.
And you've done that.
And I've done that
weren't
several
wobbling
times.
Too much.
No, I do it early in the morning.
Okay, good.
I
Just a
finish
question.
at one of
Just
the
a question.
wineries. So Defiance then is not in an AVA at all?
So that's a great question. They might be part of they can text me or email me and let me know. They might be part of the larger Ozark Highlands AVA, but I don't think so. I think that's a little further south.
Okay.
So Herman, obviously, Augusta. Herman's further north. Augusta, Ozark Highlands, Ozark Mountain AVA. Those are the 2 big ones. They encompass a lot of the southern and eastern and western part of the state. And then the little one up north of St. Joe, little tiny AVA. So Missouri has 5 AVAs total.
Yeah, we need to share this history a lot more.
You know what? Just because they're not in an AVA doesn't mean that, the wines can still be good.
That's
the
just a
grapes you
different,
source,
footnote,
Right,
so
yeah.
to speak.
Sure.
Let's go back real quickly to Swirl because we haven't talked about the different flavors. So we have a rosé wine, and that's the raspberry papaya.
Yes. So rosé is raspberry papaya. The red, so made with, both of those are made with red grapes. I'm guessing probably a little Chamberson. They never tell me what the grapes are, but Chamberson is a specialty. The red is elderberry, black cherry.
Yeah, I think that's the one I had. I liked it.
The white is citrus peach. And I really like these botanicals. So cranberry, lemon, rosemary is the red, and apricot thyme is the white.
Wow. Well, it is such a fun product, and it makes it really easy if you just want to grab and go. So often, you have a cooler there, and maybe not everybody wants a beer or a seltzer, and this gives people an option.
And, they say that the can looks like a regular size can.
Yeah.
They say it's 2 portions. I think for me, that's one
I would agree.
portion, I think. But they're 9% alcohol, so be aware of that.
I was just going to ask. 9%. Yeah. So this might be a dumb question. 9% in the one serving. So if you drink the whole can, you're really getting 18%? Or no, that's not the way it works.
9% total volume.
So if you have the half a can.
Right, you're not.
It's not 4.5.
No.
Okay.
No. Don't worry about the portion size. Just enjoy it. But do know that if you don't finish it all the next day, it might taste a little bit flat.
So maybe
share
toss
it with someone.
Don't let it sit in your fridge for.
Yeah, it's probably okay the next day, but I would rather have you finish it.
Fresh.
The way it's supposed to be.
So when we talk about serving wines, when we're doing our pourings in store and things like that, we're always very concerned at Wow Promos, Mary's promo company, to serve things fresh. We would always open things fresh for the people trying them. That's how we would want you to do it as well.
Got it. Well, Mike Ward, it's always so much fun learning from you. And you can even learn more about Swirl and some other things because Mike and I now have a show on Sundays at 6 o'clock. It's Uncorked with Ward on Wine and yours truly, Heidi Glaus. So be sure to tune in. Let us know what you think at 6 o'clock. And, of course, you don't have to wait until then or next Friday. You can always reach Mike Ward at
wardonwine.com.
And you're going to be in a cage match a little bit later tonight.
Yes, the cage match at the Wine Barrel with a sales
who you
person.
Fighting?
Yeah, it's all about wine,
This
Josh.
guy named Chris who thinks it's for charity too, for a great charity, and he thinks he's got enough knowledge to go up against me. We will see.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Thank
Text
you.
me. Let me know how you do. I know you've
will.
got this. Cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers.
4:34, Captain Paul. It's Friday. People are getting off work. How are the roads?
Well, Heidi, we do have some good news. It looks like they've cleared a crash on westbound 70 past 5th Street in St. Charles, with traffic still slow back to 270. An accident on southbound 55 at Route Z in Peevely has also been cleared, but there's a residual slowdown back to Highway M. Westbound 64 is stop and go at 364 and remains crowded to the 6470 interchange. And the ramp from eastbound 70 to southbound 170 is scheduled to reopen at 5 o'clock this afternoon. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And now, KTRS weather.
Sunny skies, dry and mild. Sound familiar? We're really into a beautiful pattern here. The high about 73 degrees under beautiful sunshine and blue skies today, light winds. Overnight lows in the 40s tonight, looking for maybe a little patch of fog near some of the river valleys, and a high on Friday of 76 degrees. Afternoon clouds increase a little bit, a 20% rain chance west of St. Louis, but will probably stay dry in the metro area. In the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kent Earhart for the Big 550 KTRS.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
The Hill in St. Louis is known for many things. The close-knit neighborhood, the shotgun-style homes, the mom-and-pop shops. But perhaps the most striking feature of the community is the pride of their Italian heritage. From the fire hydrants painted red, white, and green, to the many great Italian restaurants, the influence of America's other little Italy is clear to see. One of the staples of the Hill is Mama's on the Hill, perhaps one of the most famous and historic restaurants in St. Louis, and the home of the toasted ravioli. You see, in the early 40s, Chef Fritz accidentally dropped an order of ravioli in hot oil instead of hot water. That accident exploded in popularity and was soon served nationwide. Experience their toasted ravs and the rest of their delicious, authentic Italian food at Mama's on the Hill today. You'll taste why Mama's on the Hill is the premier family restaurant on the Hill. Celebrate Italian Heritage Day on Sunday, October 12th on the Hill with the annual Italian Heritage Day Parade at 12:30, followed by the Italian Festa at Barra Park.
With over 30 years of experience in top-quality senior living, McKnight Place Assisted Living knows how to help its residents live fulfilling lives. The professional staff gets to know all residents and their families. McKnight Place Assisted Living has become known for its high-quality amenities, personalized services, and expert care. But its history of making people a priority is what really sets it apart from many other senior communities. That starts with the residents and extends to their loved ones. 314-993-3333 or visit them at mcknightplace.com.
Hey, Heidi Glaus here, asking you to join us weekly as we present the KTRS Book Club, presented by the St. Louis County Library for readers of every generation. Books transport us anywhere our imagination wants to go. They are absolutely magical. The KTRS Book Club will introduce you to local and national authors, events, and special programs presented by the St. Louis County Library every week from 3 to 6 right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Everybody loves good barbecue, and everybody wants to know where the next great barbecue place is. And if you're looking for an overnight sensation, it's only taken them 10 years. Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery, Woods Mill and Clayton Road. There is a gas station, West County Phillips 66 gas station. In that gas station, in the back, for 10 years, some of the best barbecue in town. Bring a friend and spread the word. Three Bay Barbecue and Bakery. Don't forget about the bakery. 3baybarbecueandbakery.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Yesterday, in a rare appearance on C-SPAN, House Speaker Mike Johnson took a variety of questions from listeners who called in from across the country. Ben Siegel, ABC News Deputy Political Director, joins us with a few thoughts. And I guess our first question, was it a mistake for Speaker Johnson to send the House home?
Well, it really depends on where you're sitting. For Democrats, they see it as a mistake because it allowed them to keep their members in Washington and claim to the public that they're working, and that it's the Republicans who are the ones who are not showing up. Again, it's Democrats. So let's be clear. Democrats caused the shutdown by not supporting this bill in the Senate, but it's giving the House Democrats a talking point. And it also teed up this moment for Speaker Johnson, where he appeared on C-SPAN, to his credit, to take questions from all kinds of voters, independents, Democrats, and Republicans. And we heard one caller, a Republican woman from Virginia, saying that she's a military spouse. She has two children who need medication for their lives, and a husband who served in Afghanistan and has PTSD, who is not going to get paid if the shutdown continues. So she asked him why, the House was not in session to pay the troops. And we've seen in other shutdowns Congress act to make sure that service members get paid. This time they have not done that so far, and they can miss a paycheck next week. So the fact that the Republicans are not here allows Speaker Johnson to really control the message for his party But it also raises questions in the minds of Americans, like this woman who's called in on C-SPAN, who are just looking and saying, why can't you act for service members' pay to clear through?
Ben, forgive my ignorance. Every time they take a vote, does it got to be the House first and then the Senate, or is the House thing done because they've already voted in for the, excuse me, to keep the government open?
Yeah, I think it really depends. That's a good question, and I think for this time around, the reason why they're out is because Johnson is trying to increase the pressure on Senate Democrats to pass a bill that they have already sent over to the Senate.
Yeah.
You know, hypothetically, the Senate could change a bill and send it back to the House to vote on, but taking them out of town creates this pressure in Johnson's mind on Democrats and in the public for, you know, the only thing standing between getting the government open are the Senate Democrats. So that's the reason why they're out of town. But, you know, they could be here doing other things, too.
One more question that I want to offer to you, because you can kind of see where everybody's going, because it depends on who makes a verbal move versus the other. Was Chuck Schumer's comment, every day gets better for us, meaning the Democrats? There was an initial kind of pushback on that, but that seems like it's calmed down already. Am I reading that right?
You know, things move so quickly here that it's hard to really say what resonates. You know, now the president and China are locked in a trade war over something that wasn't even in the news this morning. So it's hard to say, but certainly it can never help a party when a leader is saying that the longer this goes on, the longer that people are suffering, this is good for us. So I have to imagine that Republicans are going to continue to seize on that.
Gotcha.
Are they actually willing to talk to Democrats about this insurance piece when they get back in session? And if so, why don't they just do it now and get it over with and get back to work?
You know, I think that's a great question. I think they say that they're willing to talk when they get back. I just think Democrats don't believe them. In the minds of Democrats, you know, we've seen Republicans make deals to fund the government only for President Trump to come into office and refuse to spend some of the money that Congress directed to certain things. So for Democrats, this is a point of leverage to kind of rein in some of what President Trump has done, you know, with cutting off spending, with canceling programs, with firing people confirmed by the Senate and Congress. So they see this as a leverage point, and they don't, you know, clearly they don't trust Republicans' word to say that we'll negotiate this down the road.
Yeah. Ben, I want to kind of go back to what led Speaker Johnson to go on C-SPAN in the first place, since it was such a rare appearance. What was the idea?
Well, I haven't asked him that, but it's clear that what he's doing, and he's been very prolific the last 10 days. He's doing a lot of media. He's been on ABC News a bunch of times. He's been all over the place. He's really trying to get the message out there that it's Democrats who are stopping this from happening, who are causing pain, who are inflicting, you know, pain on the government and federal workers by not voting to open the government. So he's really taking the lead as the messenger on Capitol Hill. And that's one of the reasons why he went to C-SPAN. And, you know, in this day and age, you have to give someone credit to go before voters, especially at a time when town halls in person are so rare.
So true.
That he did this. So, you know, it's a regular program C-SPAN has, and the speakers have been known to go on there on occasion. But it just so happens that this particular moment was a pretty explosive one for the speaker.
So I've got a question about the layoffs, which just started today, and they are saying that this will put pressure on the Democrats. Republicans and the president will use this to say, look what the Democrats have made us do. We have to lay off these people now. I don't really see it that way. I see it as this was Donald Trump's decision. He didn't have to fire all these people.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think it gives that Republicans something to say about, look what you made us do, and I think their voters are going to certainly seize on that. But when you're talking to independents and talking to Democratic voters, that's a hard message to really deliver when you've seen the government previously led by Elon Musk, you know, wage this campaign basically to shrink the size of the government and to forcibly push out tens of thousands of federal workers. I think that dynamic has just scrambled really the politics of a shutdown and who gets blamed for what action and counteraction. So, you know, it's really a lot of mixed messages, but Democrats are really standing in a place that I think many people thought they would not be on day 10, which is that they're all on the same page. And in some days, they seem to be actually a little more united than Republicans.
Yeah, well, it is interesting. Hopefully they can come to a deal sooner versus later. Ben Siegel, ABC News, Deputy Political Director, thank you.
Thanks.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on. And that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
This is the sound of captivity. This is the sound of rescue. And this is the sound of freedom. Give Armenia's captive bears a second chance by supporting International Animal Rescue. Call 508-826-1083 or search The Great Bear Rescue to learn more.
You've seen the movies Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick. Have you always wondered what it would be like to be a Top Gun instructor or pilot? Now is your chance at the National Museum of Transportation. On October 15th at 7 p.m., Captain Kevin Proton McLaughlin, United States Navy retired former commander of Top Gun and technical advisor to the movie Top Gun Maverick, will be the featured speaker. Tickets are $30. Reserve your spot now online at tnmot.org at the National Museum of Transportation.
Hi, I'm Mike Vitale from Vitale's Bakery on a Hill. Our family runs a bakery and a retail store started by our parents, Pete and Grace Vitale, in 1976. Vitale's Bakery makes the finest Italian bread and pastries, including our mom's legendary Giugilana seed cookies and her famous meat sauce.
And don't forget our pizza crusts.
We also carry customers' favorites like lemon ice. Come taste our Italian heritage today at the corner of Bischoff and Marconi. Vitale's Bakery on a Hill, where you're not a customer, you're family.
Let's talk about a getaway where you're not spending all the time on the road. How about Innsbruck? Think about it. You could go from your desk to a canoe and do some fishing in about 25, 30 minutes. They've got A-frames, they got tree houses, or if you're looking for a place to live that's away from hustle and bustle, custom homes and condos as well. It is absolutely gorgeous. Have you been out? Have you looked? Go to Innsbruck-resort.com to find your getaway.
Gingham's Homestyle Restaurant has been a staple in St. Charles for 35 years. Our comfortable, casual atmosphere offers some of the best comfort food you've ever had. Customers might know our delicious breakfast, but you can have whatever you want, anytime you want, with our full menu 24 hours a day. Nothing warms your heart like Gingham's famous vegetable soup, and we can cater your event, too. If you like homestyle food and great friendly service, you'll love Gingham's Restaurant in St. Charles. 636-946-0266 or ginghamsrestaurant.com.
Kick off football season like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports Illinois. It's sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, low holds, exceptional customer service, and no bet fees ever. Other books may charge you just to get on the field, but with Circa Sports, every play is yours to call. Start betting like a pro from anywhere, anytime in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tune in Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Straight Talk on Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus for an intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
9 minutes before 5 o'clock, Captain Paul, how are the roads?
Heidi, the roads are looking pretty good for a Friday afternoon. The latest is an accident on westbound 44 at Lindbergh, but it's not causing a big slowdown. Westbound 64 is crowded from 364 to the 6470 merge, and eastbound 64 bogs down around 170. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Mark your calendars for next weekend when the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra celebrates the legacy of rock icon and St. Louis native Chuck Berry with special concerts. Jeff Jarrett has put this show together and joins us with a preview. Jeff, this is going to be huge.
Yeah, we're really excited to celebrate Chuck in his hometown.
So how many artists are coming in to perform with our amazing symphony orchestra?
You know, I've kept losing count, but I think we've got about 18. We have a core band made up of members of the Rolling Stones, Living Colour, and the Pretenders, and then a bunch of special guest vocalists and guitar players. Both nights, October 17th and 18th.
My goodness.
So what can we expect to hear? Are they going to play Chuck's, greatest hits? What can we expect?
Well, I think it's really important to note that this is the first time Chuck's music's been performed by a symphony, and it's really fitting to do it in his hometown.
Cool.
So it's going to be a rock and roll show, but there's going to be a great, the great St. Louis Symphony Orchestra behind it. It's going to kind of weave in and out a lot of Chuck's greatest hits. There'll be a few kind of taster's choice numbers and some rarities, but overall, we picked 28 songs that are going to really reflect the career that Chuck Berry had.
That's great. I think sometimes we forget that how prolific a rock and roll songwriter he was. People all recognize the hits, but you'll recognize most of those other ones, even if the popular version was recorded by somebody else.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, he's the father of rock and roll, but he was a prolific lyricist. He was a great guitar player. I mean, some people even say he was the first rapper, if you can believe that, which kind of makes sense when you listen to it.
Jeff, will it be the same show both days?
For the most part, one of our special guests, Valerie June, who's a great
vocalist. I love her.
Yeah, she's on Friday, and then she can't do Saturday. So we have Zach Person, who's a great guitar player that idolizes Chuck and has a lot kind of in common with Jimi Hendrix. He's going to be there on Saturday. So with that distinction, all the rest of the shows are the same guests in the same show, the same set list.
I saw that Maggie Rose, which she's a Grammy Award nominated singer-songwriter and was just at Evolution Festival. I think she's going to be there. Drop a few other people.
Yeah, we've got Grammy nominated Abraham Alexander. We have Howlin' Herd from Daddy Longlegs, who's a St. Louis native. Patton McGee from the Nude Party. Maggie Rose, as you mentioned, Lawrence Rothman, who's a great producer and songwriter that is from St. Louis and now lives in Nashville. So in addition to Valerie and Zach, we've also got some of Chuck's family, Charles Berry Jr., Charles Berry III, his grandson, and then Jahi, who does vocals, who's another grandson of Chuck's. In addition, the band features James Walborn from the Pretenders and His Lordship. We've got Tim Reese, Bernard Fowler, Chanel Haynes from the Rolling Stones, and then the rhythm section of Living Colour, which is Doug Wimbish and Will Calhoun. So it's a great house band.
My gosh, that's incredible.
I think we often think of like the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra being so buttoned up, and I'm wondering what those fantastic artists in our orchestra think of playing Chuck Berry.
Well, I mean, I think great musicians can just make anything sound great. And I think, it is a little bit, it's non-classical, it's not symphony music, it's rock and roll. So it is a bit different, but I think they're really excited about it. We've done a few shows with the symphony this year with Run DMC and the Sugar Hill Gang. They did an Adam Wainwright show. So they're not afraid to try something new, and in fact, they're really good at it.
It's going to be so cool to hear Chuck Berry's songs with a symphony. I can't even imagine how good it's going to sound.
Yeah, we haven't put this is the first time the show's ever played, so we've heard the demos. Everybody's been practicing, but I'm excited next week for rehearsals to see it all come together. Anytime you put a symphony behind anything, it generally makes it better, right?
Yeah. And then who is actually leading the orchestra?
His name is Anthony Parther. He's a great conductor. He's worked with tons of, a who's who in terms of working in Carnegie Hall and in New York, and with, all of the great artists that have done symphony shows. So he's put together the charts, and he is the conductor. So he's coming in special.
And I think he's the same guy that actually led the orchestra when John Legend played the Muni last year, didn't he?
Has worked with John Legend before, so yeah. And he's worked with, just about everybody. He kicked off New York Philharmonic's gala opening night the other day. He's just an amazing arranger.
And it's going to be a real cool show. They did this with Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll at the Fox, but I think this go around, it might be a really good opportunity for most people to get in and see the new Powell Symphony Hall.
It's a great idea to come in and see Powell Symphony Hall. It's a great way to, sometimes you live in St. Louis, you take for granted because you hear about it. So it's an opportunity for Chuck's.
Well, the concerts take place next Friday, October 17th at 7, and then Saturday, October 18th at 2 p.m. at Powell Hall at the new Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets are on sale now and can be purchased at slso.org. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a little preview.
Thanks.
And I wanted to go to that Soul on Fire premiere last week.
It looked so cool.
Juliet invited us, but it was such last minute. We couldn't find a babysitter. I wanted to see the movie. I wanted to see the stars, but I wanted to see the house.
Yeah.
And I think Jeff's phone was cutting out there, but he was trying to say we take Powell Hall for granted.
Mm-hmm. And the orchestra.
And the orchestra, take it all for granted. Oh, I can go down whenever I want, and then we never do.
Yeah.
Here's a great excuse to see the brand new Powell Symphony Hall.
Yeah, and listen to some fantastic music. All right, coming up in the 5 o'clock, we're going to talk to Alex Stone about this awful explosion at a Tennessee plant. We'll also get an update on sports with KTRS Sports Director Brendan Weesey. Lots to talk about, including the Blues opener and how that went or didn't last night.
Hey, it's John Carney. A lot of conversations with the folks over at Allen Roofing, pretty much asking advice, because I know a lot of people got smacked by that storm, and he had some great advice for people to think about. First off, be careful of who you talk to when you're going to get some work done. Make sure there's an agreement, and the scope of work is laid out in that contract. Also, as you can imagine, a lot of contractors are busy. Give them some time, and you know what? Allen Roofing will come put a tarp on your roof at no charge, even if you don't use them when you get the roof repaired. Also, check the Better Business Bureau, see what the reviews are for contractors that you deal with, and also remember, insurance companies allow up to an entire year from the date of loss to file a claim. So you've got time to get those repairs done and that replacement done. Don't rush it. Just a few tips from the people that know roofing and repairs better than anyone. It's Allen Roofing. Online at aroofing.net.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
Mizzou football.
It's a rushing touchdown, and Missouri extends the lead.
KTRS AM, FM 1061, K291CW St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The government shutdown spiraling into another week with furloughed workers getting partial pay and the White House carrying out layoffs. ABC's Christine Cordero has more.
Democrats are blaming House Speaker Mike Johnson for sending House Republicans home this week. And House Republicans are saying that we had a continuing resolution that had the bare bones to keep the lights on at the Capitol, and Democrats refused to acknowledge that. So there's no doubt that every tick of the clock now is getting more consequential. This is the last paycheck that federal workers expect to receive until the government is back open. And even that is a partial paycheck reflecting their work through September 30th.
Phase 1 of the U.S. peace plan in effect in Gaza. The ceasefire began earlier today. That's expected to lead to the release of all remaining Hamas-held hostages as early as next week. ABC's Nick Morey has more.
This is a very difficult time, but obviously a very good time for the families of these hostages and Israel and the people in Gaza, which will see a substantial increase in humanitarian assistance.
Humanitarian aid into Gaza also ramping up. Police are trying to determine the cause of a deadly blast today at a Tennessee manufacturing plant about 50 miles southwest of Nashville. At least 19 are still missing, and there are multiple deaths. Humphreys County Sheriff Chris Davis.
It's probably been one of the most devastating situations that I've been on in my career.
Davis says it will take time to determine the exact cause. A storm developing off the southeast could bring heavy rain and wind to the Carolinas this weekend. That same storm could turn into a late weekend nor'easter for the mid-Atlantic and New England states. Tropical storms Jerry and Karen continuing to churn in the Atlantic, and the Southwest is facing possible flooding due to remnants of Tropical Storm Priscilla. The trade rift between the U.S. and China flaring up. President Trump threatening to impose steep tariffs on China after China limited its rare earth metals. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-859-3220. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 to 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-859-3220. That's 800-859-3220 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. 800-859-3220.
KTRS News, I'm Sobe Bay. I-70 has been reopened after law enforcement shut down a portion of eastbound Interstate 70 this afternoon due to what's being called a police emergency. Emergency vehicles were blocking off all of the eastbound lanes of I-70 at Lake St. Louis Boulevard as of 12:55 p.m. The lanes were reopened at 1:30, and officials have not released the exact reason for the highway shutdown. A man is facing charges after being accused of shooting blow darts at people in South St. Louis. Police are aware of 2 incidents. The first occurred in the 5200 block of Hampton Avenue Wednesday evening, where a woman was leaving a restaurant and had a blow dart stick into a box of leftovers she was carrying. The second happened just after 7 last night when a man in the 6600 block of Chippewa was hit in the leg with a blow dart. After the Chippewa incident, detectives obtained surveillance video and identified a suspect vehicle. The driver was wearing a fast food delivery shirt and had made a food delivery nearby just before the incident. Officers then arrested 22-year-old Dylan Lambert. He is charged with 2 counts of assault and 2 counts of armed criminal action. 30 darts and a blowgun were seized from Lambert's car. Missouri Attorney General Catherine Hanaway is calling on Meta to address the spread of violent terror content online. Hanaway says this comes after disturbing allegations in a lawsuit filed by victims of the October 7, 2023 terrorist attack in Israel, which left more than 1,200 innocent civilians dead, thousands injured, and hundreds kidnapped. According to the complaint, Meta allegedly enabled the distribution of live and recorded footage of murders, abductions, and other atrocities. In one case, terrorists reportedly posted footage of a victim's murder directly to her own Facebook profile. The Hazelwood School District is considering breaking off from the Special School District. The Hazelwood District is looking into creating its own in-house services for special needs students. 2 St. Louisites have been nominated by the Missouri Advisory Council on Historic Preservation to become listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The council is meeting today in Jefferson City. The St. Louis sites under consideration are the Northampton Commercial Historic District on South Kings Highway and the edge of the Ville Integration Historic District in North St. Louis. If accepted tomorrow by the council, those nominations will be forwarded to the National Register in Washington, D.C. for approval. The shortage of skilled professionals trained to fight the current escalating number of cybersecurity threats affecting businesses and other organizations is being addressed this weekend in St. Louis. More from KTRS's Steve Potter.
The World Economic Forum estimates there's a global shortage of more than 4 million cyber professionals, and a recent survey shows that women account for less than 20% of cybersecurity teams in the United States. This weekend, students from St. Louis University and Maryville University are teaming up with the group Women in Cybersecurity to take part in workshops. The event is open to both men and women, and participants will work in small teams to tackle real-life cybersecurity scenarios developed by government experts. The World Economic Forum estimates that currently there's a global shortage of more than 4 million cyber professionals. October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. There's a spike in Missouri unemployment claims. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
The number of initial unemployment claims is up sharply in Missouri. The Missouri Department of Labor reports there were over 6,200 claims filed during the week ending on October 4th. That marks an increase of nearly 4,000 claims from the previous week. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
And this look at the markets brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement at a special time tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., as we take you into Mizzou football pregame coverage. Today, a down day on Wall Street at the close. Dow fell 878 points to finish at 45,479. S&P 500 dropped 182 points to close at 6,552. The NASDAQ down 820 points to 22,204. Now let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Sobe number 14 Mizzou football takes on number 8 Alabama tomorrow in Columbia in one of the biggest games of the weekend. Catch a full in-depth preview beginning tonight at 6 p.m. on KTRS with the James Carlton State Farm Mizzou Game Plan Show. Game day coverage begins tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on the Big 550. Number 17 Illinois football hosts number 1 Ohio State tomorrow morning in Champaign. The Illini will look to upset the Buckeyes for the first time since 2007, which was also a top-ranked OSU squad. And the Blues play at Calgary tomorrow afternoon. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. The latest is a crash on eastbound 64 at 170 with traffic backed up to McKnight. There's an accident on westbound 44 at Lindbergh, but it's not causing a big slowdown. We have a stalled vehicle on southbound 55 at Loughborough in the right lane, causing a backup to South Broadway. And westbound 64 is heavy from Kings Highway to 170 and from 364 to the 6470 interchange. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 50. Tomorrow, sunny, high of 74, and sunny on Sunday, high of 77. Right now, we have 75 degrees at 5:09. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor with Capital Advisory Group. Now, more than ever, having a tax strategy to protect and grow your wealth is an absolute must. Every Saturday, Josh Gilbert and I will discuss how you can keep what's yours, because the most important part of your wealth plan is your tax plan. That's Keep What's Yours this Saturday afternoon.
Capital Advisory Group presents Keep What's Yours with Jeff Zufall and Josh Gilbert this Saturday afternoon at 3 on the Big 550 KTRS.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, a devastating blast has left multiple people dead. Alex Stone, ABC News correspondent, joins us with that story. What happened?
Well, they're trying to figure that out right now. It was a really big explosion, and the full extent of it is not yet clear. The local sheriff is saying that they got a lot they got to figure out. But it was around 7:45 this morning. It was at Accurate Energetic Systems in McEwen, Tennessee, which is about 50 miles west of Nashville. And all around the area, it shook their homes, falling in their yards miles away, insulation from the building falling down. The company makes military-grade explosives for the military and aerospace and demolition and mining. So it's powerful stuff that they're making. And this is the initial dispatch, the audio from Broadcastify as they were calling out units.
We have been advised there's a gas line on fire, and there's about 12 people that are unaccounted for as of right now. 12 people unaccounted for.
That number has since gone up. Humphreys County Sheriff Chris Davis in Tennessee got emotional a little while ago while announcing 19 people are now missing. And they know that there are deaths. They know there are bodies there, but they don't know who they are yet.
So at this time, we have been able to confirm that we do have 19 souls that we're looking for. So, excuse me. I ask you to keep in mind those families.
And he says it's going to be a long operation to understand what exploded and why. 4 or 5 people were injured and taken to a hospital in addition to those who are missing right now and those who they know are dead. But there are some who are injured. But he says this is going to go on for a while.
Trying to figure out and recreate or figure out what actually happened to cause this. Do I see a short-term explanation? No. Do I see us being here for many days? Yes.
And he was asked about the building itself. From the aerial images, it doesn't even look like there was ever a building there. It looks like that they were outside, but they were in a building, but the building is completely gone, that it was wiped away. They work 24-hour, it's around the clock. Their shifts go around the clock. There's a graveyard shift and a swing shift and a daytime shift making these explosives. And he was asked about that building.
Can I describe the building? There's nothing to describe. It's gone. It's again, it's the most devastating scene that I've seen in my career.
And neighbors say there have been explosions at the plant before, nothing to this extent, but it's just debris and burning cars left behind. I mean, it looks like something out of a movie. And the ATF and the FBI, they've arrived to help understand what unfolded, but right now they say there's just not a lot to go on. The scene is now secure, though, that they had been worried earlier today, and they were evacuating some areas and telling others to shelter in place about more explosives going off because it is a large property with a lot of different buildings where they make explosives. But they say that they're not worried about that any longer. It is now secure. There's no threat of any more blasts going off. But right now they just don't have a lot of answers.
Alex, any idea how many people work at this place or how many people work in a specific shift?
Overall, I don't know on the property itself, but they say that 19 or 20 people is about right in the building. If they were in the building, they had no chance of getting out. It completely disintegrated the building. So it seems like that shift that was working in that building, that it was pretty much everybody.
Oh, such a sad story, Alex. We appreciate you covering it for us.
You got it. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, fall and winter is upon us, and so now you got to close the window to keep the heat in, and that window is a sieve. It doesn't work, it doesn't lock, it rattles around in the wind. That means it's time to talk to my friend and neighbor, Larry Thornton, the owner of the window store. He has been a proud owner of that store for 30 7 years. His son, Joe, and Larry work together to bring you the best in price, selection, and customer service. That's right. They go up against the big boys, and they beat them every single time because they're better price, better selection. Customer service is fantastic. They don't stand in the middle of your living room and demand that you buy. They do most of their work with a handshake and a smile. They love to talk to you, and they love to sell you a window or a door. Better pricing, better company, The Window Store. 314-739-0002 or wswindow.net.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Boges, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio, proud supporter of breast cancer awareness and KTRS Pink. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
When you send a text to the Big 550, do you wonder if we see all of them? Of course we do. We do pay attention and love your interaction on the Big 550 text line at 84126. Don't like something? Love something? Just let us know. Thanks for being a part of the KTRS family. And keep the text coming. We are the Big 550, the talk and text of St. Louis. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
The Blues took the ice last night at Enterprise to start the season. KTR Sports Director Brendan Weesey is here to chat about that and more. And in the office earlier, Bob described the game as
vanilla. The Blues, I didn't think were horrible. They were vanilla.
Well, when you said the Blues took the ice last night, I was going to respond with, they did.
Did they?
I didn't notice.
Let me throw this at you, Brendan. You're probably more objective as I'm there as a fan in the seats. They showed no identity, the Blues, I mean. They said, are we a speed attack team? Are we a physical, in-your-face, bone-crunching hit team? What are we? And we didn't see an identity yet.
Yeah, Monty, after the game, alluded to many factors, whether it be in the net front, whether it be on special teams, where the Blues were deficient. Those were just a couple that stood out right away. I mean, you hear the stat afterwards. The Blues had never gotten shut out on an opening night before.
Ever?
Ever.
Whoa.
Until last night. 5-0 on the wrong end of a Minnesota Wild victory.
And Bennington didn't seem to be Bennington.
He was off.
Yeah, he wasn't very good. It's sort of, I feel like it's gotten to the point where it's his MO. He's played in so many big games, whether it's in the Cup playoffs, whether it was in that Four Nations, whether it was in the Olympics. Like, this guy, he is a big game goaltender. And I say it in jest sometimes. I understand there is no more rabid fan base than the Blues. I say it in jest, wake me up in April when the playoffs start. I feel like for some of these players, it's the same way. It is, the NHL regular season is a slog, and it takes a long time, and it feels like these are games that don't matter. Now, if that's the attitude you take, you end up getting a coach fired after a few weeks, or you're looking up at a huge deficit, and the Blues have been there before. So, not going to make a huge deal out of just one game, but it was, a really ugly way to start, no doubt about it.
But again, it is game one.
Yep, just one.
I will tell you this. Blues fans are as good as any group of fans. The place was sold out.
Yep.
And the game day presentation of the arena, of the the different options and opportunities for fans and different ways to enjoy the game. It was really remarkable.
Enterprise Center has been a 10 out of 10 in game presentation.
Yeah.
I feel like for a long time, and they've turned over talent, whether it's the talent that's hosting, whether it's the talent producing. They've always been top tier.
Yeah.
So no surprise on that front at all.
What'd you think of Carl's music that he played? Did he hit the horn on time? Oh, wait. I guess he didn't hit the horn at all last night.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
Josh,
never mind.
From way downtown.
All right, let's move on to football. Alabama comes to Mizzou tomorrow, which will be the team's biggest test of the season. What do the Tigers need to do?
I think there are a lot of things. Starting fast would be great. If you can impose your will and play either with a lead or with a very close margin, you can run your offense. You can run the ball. You can mix in the pass. There's so many different things that you can do if you are out on the front foot, to borrow a soccer term. If they've got that momentum, I think they can do a lot of different things. If they're playing from behind, which they've done this year, and they've done it well, and that's one of their hallmarks. But with Alabama, I think that's a dicey proposition to get mixed up with, because you really need to hit your strengths, and your strengths running the football, line of scrimmage. And if that gets taken away, I think your chances of it's one thing to be able to come back against the likes of Kansas or South Carolina. To come back against a top 10 team like Alabama, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So starting fast, I think, will be key. I know I've heard, turnover battle is going to be something to watch out for, because Mizzou is not. There's a few things they haven't done great so far this year, and one, forced turnovers on defense. Like, they've been number one in total defense in the country. That's in terms of yards allowed. But they haven't been able to generate those big plays defensively, and again, those are that can flip a game really quick. So that's something that would be good if they could win the turnover battle and just get a couple of those. Be +1, have a couple turnovers, and see if that can make a difference.
Is everybody healthy?
Well, we're still waiting on Caden Green, the starting left tackle, as he's missed the last couple of games. He's been listed as questionable here on Wednesday night and Thursday night. We'll see if that changes tonight and if it's a game-time decision tomorrow. It's an early start, and one of the things that I'm looking at as a reason why Mizzou could win this game, I actually think the start time is critical. Like, when you prepare for a big game like this, top 10 opponent, and you're kicking off at 6:30, you're sitting around all day, you're letting your mind run away with you, you're playing out some certain scenarios. I actually like kicking off at 11. These guys wake up, they go to the stadium, and it's kickoff time. You're not waiting around, you're not doing anything else. You're focused, and then the game is here. And I think for kids, that's not a bad thing. That doesn't necessarily mean you win the game, but I think it takes some other scenarios out of play where a late game, the crowd would be nuts. I still think the crowd's going to be fine. I think they're going to be into this football game.
I'm not worried about the
That's
crowd.
be a problem.
What is the current spread on this game? I'm not asking for gambling purposes, Bob. I'm staying away from this one. I just want to know what the people who have money on the line actually think is going to happen.
Well, again, it's been 2.5. It's been 3. I mean, I think there's been a thought that it will move closer back to a field goal. It's 2.5 right now. It's important to note, though, when these lines move, a lot of it is public money that comes in. Sometimes it could be a big bet made by one individual, like someone that bets a lot, someone that is kind of plugged in, and they'll bet a lot of money. That can shift the line. They call it the public, and they call it the sharp bets. So there's been a lot of public money, I know, early in the week on Mizzou, and I'm actually surprised that the line has been as steady as it's been since. Like, it dipped to 2.5 on late Monday into Tuesday, and it's been pretty steady there. Still could go back to 3, I think, before kickoff tomorrow, as some of those late folks see there's some value potentially on Alabama. But it shows you this is
It's up for grabs.
Those in the know believe this is a razor-thin margin.
It's going to be fun to watch. What other big matchups are we going to be looking at tomorrow?
Ohio State, Illinois. They play at the same time. Illini could beat the Buckeyes for the first time since 2007. And when that was also a win against a number 1 Ohio State team. I think that was Juice Williams, the quarterback at the time. I can't think I don't think Ron Turner was the coach at that point. I'd have to go back and dig into the archives a little bit. But it's been a long time since the Illini have beaten Ohio State. And this feels, that Illinois team, you weren't necessarily playing for a playoff. This Illinois team, you beat Ohio State. The rest of their schedule is very fortuitous. The problem is if you lose, you're kind of toast because you don't have any other opportunities to beat a big team.
Yeah, going to be a lot of great football to watch. Philly fans had a rough night last night.
You have the NFL loss. You have, I think even more painful, the baseball game 4 loss.
Extra innings and an error.
I've done that before. I've seen that.
It's a tight spot. You feel terrible for Kirkering, the pitcher, who has that split-second decision. He could have gone to first. Instead, he comes home and he throws it away. It was tremendous games. These playoff games have been fantastic.
Really good. For him and Heidi, if you go back and watch it again, he didn't step. He threw flat-footed. And he was open. He wasn't turned to his target. So what happened was he got in a hurry. The way his body was, he probably would have had a better
shot
chance to throw it first.
You're absolutely right.
And then tonight and tomorrow, you get game 5s in both the American League Tigers and Mariners tonight. And then I think there's going to be some local interest to see Cubs and Brewers
I agree.
tomorrow night.
Can we figure a way they can both lose?
That's up in Milwaukee. I get a sense there are folks rooting for the Brewers. I can't see too many folks around here rooting for the Cubs.
Yeah.
But the Brew Crew trying, because this has been a Brewer team that's been good for a while. And it feels like they haven't quite been able to break through. This would be at least partially in that direction. But they had a 2-0 lead in the series, and they've let Chicago kind of get back into it here. So game 5 in Milwaukee tomorrow night.
And then you got the Aces tonight. Could win another championship and just blank the Phoenix Mercury.
Did you think this would did you see this being 4 straight?
No, not at all. And I didn't see Phoenix Mercury being in it at all.
Yeah.
So I think the whole series has just been fun to watch. And then we got to wrap up sports a little bit with a tip of the cap to Sister Jean, the iconic Loyola basketball chaplain who passed away.
106 years old. She will forever be known. Her rise to fame in 2018 when Loyola, under the leadership of Porter Moser, they go all the way to the Final Four. It was an incredible story. They were a Missouri Valley Conference team at the time in the MVC. They're now in the A10, and Rammer sees them multiple times a year playing the Billikens. But that was such a cool story, and that was a really good. There was nothing fluky about that team. That was a great Loyola team.
It was exciting.
And Sister Jean, I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to meet her a couple of times. Just really sweet, and her pregame prayers in the arena are spectacular. Yeah, she'll be missed. She was one of a kind.
A legend.
No question
for sure.
about it. No question.
What time can we tune in to Mizzou football tomorrow?
Mizzou football tomorrow, 9 a.m. Game day coverage tonight. The James Carlton State Farm Mizzou Game Plan Show. Extensive previews of the game. We'll get some insight from down in Alabama. Of course, our picks. We'll talk to Jalen Catalon, Mizzou safety. All starts at 6 o'clock tonight. 3 hours of Mizzou coverage this evening here on the Big 550.
All right, we'll be listening. Thanks, Brendan.
Thanks, Heidi.
All right, 5:30 on this Friday afternoon. Captain Paul, are the roads busy?
Well, Heidi, the latest is an accident on westbound 64 at Hanley with traffic jammed back to Kings Highway. Westbound 64 is also heavy from 364 to the 6470 interchange. A crash on eastbound 64 at 170 has traffic backed up to McKnight. And there's a stalled vehicle on southbound Loughborough in the right lane, causing a backup to South Broadway. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And now,
KTRS weather.
Sunny skies, dry and mild. Sound familiar? We're really into a beautiful pattern here. The high about 73 degrees under beautiful sunshine and blue skies today, light winds. Overnight lows in the 40s tonight, looking for maybe a little patch of fog near some of the river valleys, and a high on Friday of 76 degrees. Afternoon clouds increase a little bit, a 20% rain chance west of St. Louis, but will probably stay dry in the metro area. In the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kent Earhart for the Big 550 KTRS.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have two locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple of screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware, we'll see you there.
Early detection is crucial in the fight against breast cancer. Surprisingly, even in women of average risk, abnormalities can be found. So even if you don't think you are at risk, screening is essential to prevention and saving lives. The Show Me Healthy Women program offers free breast and cervical cancer screenings to women ages 21 through 64 free of charge if you qualify. Please visit our website at health.mo.gov/showmehealthywomen or call toll-free 866-726-9926 for more information and to see if you qualify.
Hey, Ed Brock, everybody. If you love Halloween like I do yourself a favor and visit Johnny Brock's Dungeon. Why shop those tiny pop-up shops when you can shop 30,000 square feet of locally owned Halloween fun? We're open all year at I-44 in Jefferson on the edge of Soulard. Johnny Brock's Dungeon, a St. Louis must-see.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
Don't miss Straight Talk on Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join this dynamic father-daughter duo every Saturday morning for an entertaining and intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. From decades of financial planning expertise combined with a deep knowledge of healthcare benefits, Aaron and Jeff will give you the Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on the Big 550. KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Let's talk a little entertainment news. Jennifer Aniston is tired of people speculating about why she never had kids, but in a new interview, she says it wasn't entirely her decision. She said, quote, "People didn't know my story or what I'd been going through over the past 20 years to try to pursue a family because I don't go out there and tell them my medical woes." She revealed a few years ago that she and Brad Pitt tried to conceive via IVF and, of course, it didn't come to fruition. She added that there comes a point when you can't not hear it, the narrative about how I won't have a baby, I won't have a family because I'm selfish. She's a workaholic. She goes, I am just a human being.
That'd be a pretty good-looking kid.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Why is she now talking about this? She's had the last 25 years to say something.
Maybe she's more comfortable now.
Yeah.
More comfortable about who she is.
And maybe the time has
As
kind
long-
of passed,
yeah, good
and there
point.
is no
There's no going back.
chance of probably still having a child, at least naturally, if that's what she wants to do. Michael J. Fox will make his return to acting for the upcoming third season of Shrinking on Apple TV+. He previously retired in 2020, but when he found out, I think this is such a cool story, that Harrison Ford's character has Parkinson's, he called the show's creator and asked for a role. He said to him, "You did a show about Parkinson's and you didn't call me?"
Really?
He said,
Agreed.
"It was the first time ever I get to show up on set and don't have to worry about am I too tired or coughing or anything. I just do it." It was really good because for the moments when I say I'm not going to be able to do this, then I say, well, I'll just deal with it. How can I can't, do whatever in a scene? He said, you can get through it this way. Shrinking Season 3 doesn't have a release date yet, but...
Well, that's another show on our list that we started, and then we got to get back to it. But
Same.
We finally had to start writing down the shows.
And I guess
That's
I
good.
left it off after Season 1, so I need to go back and watch Season 2, but it is such a good show.
It really is.
I remember he'll pop up every once in a while, Michael J. Fox.
Mhm.
He was on Scrubs, and he played a doctor with OCD.
Yeah, but he's been retired since 2020, so this is the first time he's doing that. Bradley Cooper is in talks to join Margot Robbie in the Ocean's 11 prequel. I didn't know that was in the works. And where do you start with that? Like, what are you going back to?
Wait. So George Clooney yesterday said he's working on an Ocean's 11 sequel.
Well, it'd be Ocean's 14 or whatever number it is.
the number is, yeah.
But these two are working on an Ocean's 11 prequel.
Exactly.
And and we're not talking about the
So
same
they
movie.
would be playing Clooney and Julia Roberts, I guess?
Maybe. I don't know.
Is it necessary? Why not just make another new one?
they're the same age as they were in the first one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't.
Well,
but it might be good. Those are good actors.
That's what I was going to say. Sigourney Weaver, I pulled this just for you.
Okay.
Has met with Disney about a new Alien script. She said it has a very strong first 50 pages.
I love it. 'Cause I was so disappointed in everything after the second one. They weren't good. I know some people are diehards and they love every movie. One was great. Two was great. I mean, both great. And then
it goes downhill.
I think it goes, just forget about them.
Yeah.
So I hope, if she likes it, I'm sure it'll be good.
Slash says we might be getting a new Guns N' Roses album in the near future. He said they have a lot of material and, quote, everybody is thinking about it. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Gwen Stefani is set to become Las Vegas's Sphere's first female headliner. Of course, she'll be with No Doubt, but she is their lead singer. The band will reunite for 6 performances at the Sphere in May of next year.
They haven't had a female headliner yet? That seems odd.
It does seem odd.
My brother is in Vegas right now.
Is he going to see Wizard of Oz?
No, he
Oh.
said, should I pay $400 and go see the Eagles?
At the Sphere?
I told him absolutely not.
Well, you love the Eagles. You wouldn't pay $20 to go see them.
I'd pay $20.
Why
to
would
see
he
it.
ask you?
I
Not
think he
the
was.
Eagles,
Does he not
man.
know you?
I think he was joking.
Oh.
I think he was joking.
So are they at the Sphere? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they pop in, they pop out. That Wizard of Oz thing looks really
It
cool.
looks
If I had
fantastic.
to choose between the two, I'd do that. But I've seen the Eagles once, so.
Yeah.
What other movies could they do now that we've seen what they've done with Wizard of Oz?
Twister.
Oh, man.
But it doesn't have to be all tornado movies.
Well,
Heidi.
it doesn't, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I think that the wind is going to be the big thing, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't fill the place with water.
Maybe you can.
You walk in and they give you a life vest.
Yeah.
It's like a Gallagher show where they.
Oh, gosh.
The first 4 rows need to put the ponchos
on.
Oh, boy. This is kind of cool. WNBA star Angel Reese is going to become the first professional athlete to walk the runway at the Victoria's Secret fashion show.
Well, she certainly got the physique, the
Yeah.
build, the long legs.
So
Might
true.
be good. Might be really good.
They got rid of that thing
For a second.
For a couple of years.
Yeah.
I always thought it was fun. They had a lot of great bands playing there.
Yeah,
you
nothing
know?
to do with the females.
What you're looking at.
Well, my wife was looking at the swimsuits and such.
Yeah, I might buy that one with the big wings on it. And,
You know what?
And the
This
diamonds.
is how much you know about it. None of those things are for sale.
You know, who knows, right?
Yeah.
What do you mean, who knows?
Boy, Bob, did you see Maroon 5 last night?
They were on the show?
How about this? 57 years ago in 1968, Barbarella was released. Jane Fonda, of course, starred as a space traveler trying to save the universe from the evil Durand, which ended up being the inspiration for the name
for
of
the rock group.
Yeah, Duran. I didn't realize that.
Did you ever see it, Bob?
I can't. Jane Fonda looks fantastic, but the movie's so bad you can't get through it.
I
You
wanted
can't get through it.
I wanted to watch it for the exploitation.
You just buy the poster and call it a day.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But you're right. It looks so terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And it was 44 years ago in 1981, Laverne and Shirley cartoon debuted on ABC.
Oh, Schlemazel.
Awesome
Yeah.
Pepper Incorporated.
As for TV, this weekend, the documentary John Candy, I Like Me, is now streaming on Amazon. Tomorrow night, Amy Poehler hosts Saturday Night Live. Role Model is the musical guest. Have you seen the preview yet with Amy Poehler?
I saw the one with the new cast members.
I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah.
What's the bit?
She's kind of going up and she's saying, hey, remember when we... And they're
Like
like,
she knows them all.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
And she goes through about 3 of them, and then they go, you have no idea who we are, dude.
No.
And she, no.
We last night, Finn fell asleep early, so we put on the Bad Bunny episode. Did you guys watch it?
You know what?
The first of the season?
Yeah. Last weekend.
I haven't watched it yet. It's recorded.
It's
Okay.
okay.
The one skit I saw live when I was actually turned it on Saturday, I was like,
I thought it was pretty typical. Some good stuff, some bad stuff, really up and down.
Yeah.
I think I really like him.
I do too.
Yes. Undisputed, though, he was good.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't like the Jeopardy. They had a Jeopardy one.
Again, uneven.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah.
I guess they're going to take a while to find their footing because there are a lot of new cast members, and we lost a lot of great ones as far as that goes. Sunday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs host the Detroit Lions.
Oh, this is going to be good.
It is going to be good. And for my fellow Matlock fans, the second season premieres Sunday night on CBS. You guys watching it yet?
No.
Oh.
I'm kind of
Kathy
keeping up.
Bates is
I'm kinda keeping up.
good.
She's a terrific actress.
And she's good in this.
Keep asking if she's revealed her secret yet to everybody.
It's there was a cliffhanger at
Oh,
the end
really?
of the
Last
first season. So, yeah,
Here
I
it
highly
comes.
recommend. All right, what about birthdays?
Birthdays. All right, let's go here. We've got, it seems like I remember doing these birthdays 1 year ago. Okay.
All right, they're a year older.
2 classic, one of them's maybe not classic. Let me just get into it. Heidi's going to get this one, and we talked about this artist recently for some reason. How old is Tanya Tucker? What were we talking about her for?
Were we talking Western
We were
music?
talking Waylon Jennings, maybe?
Well, it would have been Campbell.
Or Glenn Campbell?
Yeah.
Hey, I can't remember. Anyway, how old is Tanya Tucker?
Why were we talking about her? She's 81.
No. She is 68.
67. Well done, Heidi Glaus.
81?
I thought for some reason on
She looks
CBS,
kind of rough,
Well,
CBS Sunday
no.
Morning, they had mentioned how
No.
old she was.
Dolly Parton isn't even 80.
She's not.
No.
I'm glad you folks watching can
and
see
she
Josh's
was,
face.
She was like 16 when she hooked up
Tanya
with
Tucker? Yes.
Idiot.
Yeah.
Now, here's one that has not hung around as long as Tanya in the upper echelons. He's trying to come back. It's not working for me anyway. David Lee Roth.
Oh, yeah.
First
my
front man for
gosh.
Van Halen.
73.
I got some clips to play for you guys, but I'll make a guess. Get this. He's younger than Sammy Hagar. And these days, Sammy Hagar looks great for his
And way
age.
more energy.
I bet he's 76.
71. And finally, this one's up for grabs.
Okay.
Great song and dance man. You remember him from Roots, but he is a multi-talented artist. Ben Vereen.
Oh, my goodness.
83.
Ben Vereen is 91.
He's 79, Josh.
Oh.
God, you are really overshooting today.
I'm sorry.
How old am I? 102?
Yeah. I was going to say, don't ask.
Really,
Not
don't
today.
ask. That's right.
All right.
That is your evening entertainment report here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Have you guys ever heard the David Lee Roth? It's the sound of his vocals.
Yes.
With the music.
Gone.
It's
Gone.
awful.
I bet it's bad. Now that's rock and roll, baby.
Oh, man.
He's fine. You just wouldn't want him to go a cappella anywhere.
Well, it's the
That's
isolated.
why he has a band.
The isolated.
You know what's interesting when you hear something like this and they sound great, then you go, that is an artist.
Absolutely.
I tell you, what's his name? Freddie Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
When they take Somebody to Love and they take out all the music and just put his vocals in there, it gives you the chills.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah,
Find that one. Let's do a comparison.
Yeah,
Let's
David
not
Lee,
lead people with that.
Because I love Van Halen.
Yeah.
David Lee is the screecher and Sammy Hagar is the grunter.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Oh, he does do that.
Yeah.
The McGraw-Millhaven Morning Show from 6 to 10 wants to hear from you. Join us on the 9 in the morning to voice your opinion, topic you want to talk about, questions you have, or if you just want to school McGraw. We'll take your phone calls and texts. No other station in the St. Louis area opens the airwaves to voice your opinion live. We are live and local, and you make us who we are. The Big 550 KTRS. Depend on it.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Drury Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Drury Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Jewels on Hampton pays some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, gemstones, coins, collectibles, and sports memorabilia. JewelsOnHampton.com.
Navigating to and through retirement doesn't have to be complex. Listen to What Retirement Means to You with Jerry Means. Sunday mornings at 10 on KTRS, the Talk of St. Louis.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
That's Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a little easier to handle.
Ah, he's got such a great voice. Do we know if you could quantify? I know Rolling Stone put out a list of the best songs of the 21st century, just the last 25 years.
We haven't gotten to that yet. I've got it in my pile. We'll talk about it Monday.
Who's got the best voice of all time?
Adele.
Well, didn't even think about it.
I just think her voice is gorgeous.
I'm not going to disagree, but I'll throw Patsy Cline into the mix.
Definitely.
But Adele, I can't argue with that. I really can't.
Yeah.
And then you look at the new Springsteen movie coming out where the guy from The Bear is playing the boss, and he's doing his own singing on that. Who has done the best job? Maybe imitating or performing their own voice.
Who was it that did Ray Charles?
Yes, Jamie Foxx.
And he played the piano, too.
Yeah. Well, Jamie Foxx can do anything. I mean, he is a super talented dude. I mean, look at him when he was on In Living Color.
Yes.
I mean, he is. I was just listening to a podcast, and it was Amy Poehler talking to Olivia Colman. And they were talking about just how, not everybody can do comedy and drama. And you look at somebody like Jamie Foxx, he can do it all, including the singing. I mean, he had an album.
Comedy, drama, song and dance. But speaking of Freddie Mercury, I asked Max, Rami Malek portrayed him in the movie, and he sung, but they also mixed in.
It wasn't
kind
just
of
him.
Freddie's backing track. I think that doesn't necessarily
Same thing
count.
with Austin Butler with Elvis. Elvis, the mature Elvis, they used the real Elvis voice, but Butler did the voice when he was younger
by himself.
Just the way the timbre, pitch, whatever.
Yeah.
He couldn't equate the Elvis, which another great voice.
Yeah, somebody says Luther Vandross. Somebody says Right on Heidi on Adele. Ann Wilson for me, and Brad Delp.
Yeah,
I don't know who Brad Delp is.
I'd almost go by chronology, and I'd go Patsy Cline, then Ann Wilson.
And I gotta throw in my homegirl. Winona has some vocal cords as well.
And I would also say Linda Ronstadt.
That's a good one.
Brad Delp was with Boston.
Okay.
And I have heard, who's the Foo Fighter? Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl has said Boston was the tightest band. There was nothing in there that you didn't need. There wasn't any filler, and it was just the right notes at the right time.
Interesting.
And they always hit them. So.
Back to Freddie Mercury. Somebody asked him once, a music writer asked him, how does it feel having the best voice in rock? And he says, I don't know. You'll have to ask Steve Perry.
I mean, that...
Yeah,
that's a great line.
That's
a great line.
Is. Somebody else on the text line from the 314, Karen Carpenter.
Yeah, and an underrated drummer too.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's really sad that she died early.
It is kind of fun to see her behind the skids. What do we think about Joaquin Phoenix and Johnny Cash?
He's pretty good.
I thought he did a great job.
Is it a hard voice to even do, though?
Probably not as hard as some others.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't. I'm picking Freddie Mercury over Steve Perry, but I get
what he said.
I get the line.
It was humble.
Yeah.
All right, 8 minutes before 6 o'clock. Let's get one final check of traffic on this Friday. Captain Paul?
Heidi, westbound 70 is bumper to bumper and crawling from Route A to the 6470 interchange. Westbound 64 is running slow from Lake St. Louis Boulevard to the 6470 merge. And eastbound 64 bogs down around 170. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. Stop by for brunch or happy hour, or plan your next event, specifically group outings or holiday parties at the Rack House. The Rack House, featuring a seasonal menu and upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
My friends at Neighbors Credit Union are rolling out a new account. The new Debit All Day account is designed for the way you pay today. Debit All Day is a checkless checking account featuring a Neighbors Visa debit card, the convenience of online and mobile banking, and access to your direct deposits up to 2 days early. If you're looking for a no-fuss account to make managing your money simple, safe from overdrafts, and free of fees, Debit All Day is for you. Open your Neighbors Credit Union Debit All Day account online today at neighborscu.org.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Your dentures no longer fit? Maybe you're missing a tooth or several teeth. Visit Dr. Bowen for Simply Secure Dentures and Dental Implants. The cutting-edge, high-quality dental implants that replace all the teeth in your mouth, and it starts as low as $7,000, not the $35,000 that others charge. If you're only missing a few teeth, Dr. Bowen can permanently replace those with something you don't have to take in and out of your mouth. Learn more at simplysecuredentures.com and get the care you need and the teeth you want at Bowen Dental Care or simplysecuredentures.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, time to wrap this Friday up with a random or two.
When A&E Network launched in 1984, it came on after Nickelodeon had signed off for the night on the same channel.
Just kind of reintroducing it like a slow launch.
Like Nickelodeon signs off at 6 o'clock at night.
And then it becomes A&E.
And then A&E turns on.
I did not know that.
It's how Nick at Night used to be.
Yeah.
I remember watching, Rugrats and Rocking Bullwinkle, and then Mr. Ed would come on for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That's Nick at Night?
That was Nick at Night.
Ooh, it got really crazy.
Yeah, and then, what was what was the one that Bob Denver was in? He played the hippie kid. Maynard G. Krebs.
Yeah, not hippie. Beatnik. He was a beatnik.
He's a beatnik. My Three Sons, or
It was
Courtship of Eddie's Father, or something like that. Anyway,
Josh has gone off on it.
Dobie Gillis.
Oh, I liked Dobie Gillis.
That's what it was, Dobie Gillis.
And the word apron was originally napron, but when people would say, "Hand me an apron," most people would hear, "Hand me an apron."
Oh.
Hand me an apron, and eventually they just said, well, let's get rid of the end.
Doesn't make any sense.
Nobody's saying it.
Nobody's saying it.
It's a waste.
Let's just get rid of it.
All right. You guys, thanks for hanging out with us all week long. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and hopefully you'll meet us back here Monday afternoon at 3. Until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
Whatever gets you through the night.
Let's talk about legacy. Yingling, 196 years of brewing. Family owned for 6 generations. That's elite. That's first ballot Hall of Fame status. But even the legends evolve. So meet the next generation of light beer. Flight, just 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. This isn't some watered no flavor regret in a can beer. Flight is crisp, clean, and actually tastes like beer. It's time to level up, St. Louis. Flight from Yingling.